Nelly, Sprint, Canada. Okay, let's do your microphone first.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
Check one. Mic check. Check one.
Go and get through, please.
Mic check. Check one. Mic check. Check
That's
one.
nice, yeah. Bit more.
Mic check. Check one. Check one. Mic check.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay. Right, and it's this one. So you can see. It's this one.
Yeah.
All right, shall I go over a few things with you very quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so Carol, today's date is the 5th, 26th, and we're going to be speaking to her about 7:20, 7:15.
Look at that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, so we've got Westminster, her judging, just the event that she went to Westminster a few weeks ago. Her judging at Northampton, she's going to give us some feedback on that. Then she's the trucks, so the second week in trucks, when she's doing some trucks, I can't remember where that was. Girls on track, that was at Silverstone, that's over the weekend. And we're going to go into Miami, the sprint. And we've got to mention,
Yeah.
Zanardi, Alex Zanardi.
Alex Zanardi.
Died.
Alex Zanardi passed away.
Alex Zanardi died, yes, Alex Zanardi.
Them near there, blood from the past.
Do you know anything about him?
Yeah, man, he's a big time driver, pioneer.
Okay, so we're going to go there, right? Just to let you know, because they did a 1 minute silence film and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna, okay, let me go there first with that track. And I'll put the thing up so you can hear what the music will be playing. I don't want that. I do want, obviously, Kimi won the Grand Prix
Yeah, and Lando Norris came.
in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get, that's this week.
It's 2JR, isn't it? The postcode.
Yes, NW10, that's that, let's try that's that. Okay, put that there. Right, that's shout outs. I know I'm missing a shout out today. I think it's Millie. Millie. She's an Arsenal fan.
Millie's Arsenal fan, okay.
Yeah, it's Millie that I met. And then we want Eliane, a friend of mine who died. She passed. Love and love to Millie. And then everyone that I met Monday at Taplow. I was in heels for most of the weekend. Did we have any birthdays? Oh yeah, family birthdays. What's her name again? Nelly.
You know that's even better than the tripod.
And what else do I want? Nelly and Esther. A family, yeah. Passing. Okay, right, there we go. That's that. Right, shout out. You got any shout outs?
None that I can think of. I could shout out to the young lady that came to the show.
Okay, yeah, why not? Oh, I watched a movie, and the movie that I watched was Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee movie.
Okay. Sure is. Okay, that goes there. Where's my drink?
Oh, your flask is here.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I was super prepared and all that, and I'm like,
It happens, you know? Yeah, no problem, I got it. Okay. Oh, gosh.
the only
When
thing I
that door
can
opens,
say,
I
I
just-
actually think that is actually better. When
Well,
I'm
it
looking at
looks-
the camera angle.
The way that you showed me there, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's a really shout out. Good. That's a really shout out. Turn it on. Done that. Done that. Done that. Okay, what's this now? No, I'm not doing that. What do I want to do another one? Oh gosh. I need to get. See this emphasize. Stop. I'm so keen to get everything. I need to make sure that I tape it out. Take the show.
I'll plug the USB in there. What's that? What bro? What bro? What is it? What is it? Oh, phone. Oh.
Okay, we've got another day. I'm sure it's charged up, but. Okay, 84, yeah, what were you talking about? What were you saying about USB?
No, plugging USB in there
In.
into the laptop.
I have.
Yeah.
I've just done that. Okay, so all we've got to do is remember to put it on 57. We've got minutes to go. One thing I need my results. I need my results. Okay, that's the drivers. What's this? That's last week. I need my results. Somebody. Okay. Right, that's what I want. All of that. That's what's really important. Right, so now we can go there. Alright, this is what we're listening to.
On the internet.
Okay, 58 minutes. That's what's playing on the actual radio now.
Okay. The sound, the volume. But I can hear it.
So what do you want to do?
To turn it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just trying to make sure the copyright thing doesn't keep coming up.
Okay. Does it show you when it comes up?
Yeah, it shows me when it comes up, and then if it can pick up any track.
Okay. Alright, so I need to.
Human beings have got to go and find out if it's copyright, but that AI thing within seconds.
Say again?
The AI thing within seconds it can tell you if it's a copyright.
Okay.
It's too quick.
Okay. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Come on, Sheda. Don't sit out that way.
Right, so what I'm gonna do next week, I'm
Mhm.
gonna deal with that. Next week.
Where's my phone?
Then I'm gonna deal with your laptop and USB thing and all the technical things, so you can
Where's
concentrate.
my phone?
Is there something written in here?
Okay.
This week,
Right, that's 6 o'clock, so. Oh, that's what I want.
I saw something there and I thought, is it this?
But I want the one that actually has a. Okay, you know what? That's really strange.
There's a poem.
Yeah.
This thing here,
No, that was just extra.
was you meant to do this as part of the show?
I'm not really. If it happens, it happens.
Okay.
But where's my phone? That's really strange. It must be
Where
in
is
there.
the poem?
Okay. Let's get We'll take this.
Mhm.
Start to tape you because. Are we live?
We are.
Okay. In there. I bet it's got to be right in front of me. It's got to be right in front. There it is. No, it's not in it. Here it is, right there.
See, when it's all DIY, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that you got to do. It sounds all nice and jazzy and sexy when it's behind the airways, but when you can see what's going on in the studio, it's not always, I wouldn't have done this to you.
1 minute past the hour of 6, you're listening to www.bbmcradio.com. Past the hour, 6 o'clock, it's www.bbmcradio here with Professor Johnson. Professor Johnson, you're in the house!
I am in the house indeed. How is everyone?
Everyone's good, everyone's good. I think we're going to change it up and get them ready. We're going to get them ready, let them know that we're here.
Yeah.
Let them know that we're going to get this started. Here we go. We're on, we're not to run it because that was last week with the marathon. But there's a lot to talk about this week. We've got obviously those that have passed. We're going to be speaking about the great Alex
Zanardi.
Wow, I want to know so much about him. We'll be speaking with the lovely Carol Glenn. This is going to be at more than 1/4 just come to 20 past the hour. Then we've got the football with our own Tunde Talks Football. I know she's been telling me there's only a few games left, like 3 games left, something like that?
But there's not many games, but all big games.
Yeah, all big games.
All big games. Big game tonight.
Okay.
Arsenal playing Atletico Madrid, 8 o'clock.
So we're still going to find out who's going to stay, who's going to go, who's going to
We've still got to find out.
Right.
But there's some key relegation battles.
That's going to tell us.
Yeah, because this weekend coming, top Arsenal, who are top, are going to play West Ham, who are in the relegation zone.
Yeah, I don't like hearing that, but
you see them kind of do or die kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. It's one of them games.
I'm going to find out where
it's the way that it's worked out that these key games are.
Make all the difference.
Because when you draw the hat, now it's all AI that draws all the games. So we don't know where teams are in the league in the beginning of the season.
Okay, that's all very interesting. But more importantly, there was an F1 race. Do you know who the winner was?
I know Lando Norris came second.
That's right.
Yeah,
he did for the race, and there was a sprint also.
You know what? I need to start watching because I'm watching all the cricket and the football and the
There's a lot of sport.
And I've been watching the snooker and the tennis, snooker.
Oh my! And the finals of snooker's
So I need to make a little Formula 1 space.
I don't know how you're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how. But I need to do that to keep up. Because I remember back in the day when I used to watch Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, I was glued, man.
Right.
I was glued.
Of course.
But
then again, the calendars are different to how it is now.
Yeah, slightly different, And when Louis first bust on the scene, I was like, yeah, man, black man. They're playing around the wheel, you know.
And it seems like it was just like yesterday, but we're talking about years now.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Because it was almost really Tiger Woods and Lewis Hamilton kind of simultaneously just bang, golf, Formula 1.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and just against the grain.
Where did they come from?
Where did they come from? They just came from nowhere. Yeah. So, yeah.
So we're here,
Really
and we're started, and it's just past 6 o'clock.
Just past 6 o'clock.
I'm playing, it's not on. To the skies, hope this time will last forever. You know, I can't sing, but that's what I'm playing. You know?
Yeah.
And it's 4 minutes up. So I'm going to quickly go. We were talking about the F1.
Yeah.
Then we've got Mr. McIntosh is coming up. But well, still here in the house. Well, I'm here with Professor Johnson and www.bbmcradio.com. Sheda. So yes, we will be talking with lovely Karen. We will be talking with Today Talks Football, and we have Mr. McIntosh with his agenda. Last week, it's very interesting actually when he spoke about all the, well, not only the sport, the athletics in Grenada, and just in concern to the formation of the, well, I'd say the Caribbean, to get their act together and concerns to who they'll be putting forward.
Well, there's there's a lot of politics involved in it. I mean, you've got like the Caribbean Games, which are a real top premier. You've got Caribbean Games. You've got Boys and Girls Champs in Jamaica.
Right.
You've got the Pan American Games.
Okay.
Those are 3 athletics events that take place on annually, biannually, and every 4 years.
Right.
Those events take place, and some of the best athletes in the world compete in those events.
Right.
However, the economics and the finances behind it will mean that the top athletes, once they get spotted, they then still in a situation where they gravitate towards going out of the region to compete to earn money. Because financially, in terms of performance and record setting, those 3 events are pivotal.
Okay.
But in terms of economics, athletes have still got to go outside of the region to earn.
Which is why they're going to places like Turkey and Germany.
Yeah.
I want to go through the listings of Formula One, let you know where we've gone, where we're going, and how it's happening.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit more of this with Chaka. We've got a few handbag kind of music today, you know, the dance around the handbag. And I was in heels for most of the bank holiday. From Thursday, Friday, I was just in heels, so today I'm just wearing the trainers and just an easy top. I was more of a sexy kind of tax skirt. And you laugh, it was going right.
Yeah.
I didn't fall. I did hit myself a few times. But
Okay. The main things ain't moving forward. That's the main thing. Yeah, you want to start getting.
I was like, nobody loves you better than family. So let me do a quick shout out to family. I know we've got definitely some birthdays to say. Yo, do hope it was a lovely time for you there, Nelly. May play a tune for you, but right now I'm going to say, yeah! There's just too many good stories in concerns to times when you drove us all around the place and left us and gone your way. But anyway, I'm not going to say anything. So the season started Australia, which was fantastic, China, Japan. April was just like no Bahrain, no Saudi Arabia. It was lonely. I didn't realise how much I just kind of like, you know, hung on to Formula One because we had no races during the month of April. Back with a bang. That's this well, I suppose Thursday because I've got myself ready. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had a sprint race in Miami. Lovely, lovely, lovely results to come. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Then we've got another sprint race in 2 weeks' time in Canada. And we're going to be looking at Bortoletto, who is, well, obviously a big home race. Because ever so often when we have drivers go to certain circuits, we want to pick them up for their home race, most definitely. Then that's Canada. Then we've got Monaco, very nice. I really want to see how the car's going to do for Monaco. That's the 57th of June. Then we've got Spain with Barcelona. So we're kind of, things are kind of popping up and really new. So the 3 races in June there. Then we're in Austria, coming into July. We've got Silverstone, Belgium, Hungary, Netherlands, bringing us into August 21st, 23rd. Then, where was I? Netherlands, Italy, Spain. Then we've got Azerbaijan. That's one of my favourite races. Do you have a favourite race by any chance? Favourite location?
Yeah. Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it's got me.
That's why.
Road business, road race.
Okay. Well, I feel that way about Azerbaijan.
Yeah. I mean, Azerbaijan. I suppose again, Azerbaijan is one of the new. When I say new, you've got Interlagos and you've got Silverstone transaction. You've got
classics.
You've got your classics, Hungarian Spa, your Brazilian. So you've got all these Grand Prix. So Monte Carlo is one of those original classic ones on the road because a true test of a driver.
It is a true
test of a driver. The road.
However, the overtaking over the years has just disintegrated.
Yeah, it has.
Which is why I think at this, what we've seen so far for the season, this really may make a big difference. I'm really hoping to see some skill.
Yeah.
So let me finish the schedule here. So I was at Spain, Azerbaijan, Singapore come October. Can you believe October? But let's not even go there because that'll be the last sprint of the season, Singapore. Then we've got USA, the second time we're going to be in the States for Texas, 23rd to 25th of October. Then we have Mexico. I still keep making fun of that little place there going over the wall. That's October to November, into November the 1st of November there. November 6th to 8th we're in Brazil, Sao Paulo, one of the classics there. And then we've also got, which I will say, we've also got Las Vegas. I'm not happy about Las Vegas. I don't think it really, I'm not impressed with Las Vegas.
LA potentially, Las Vegas could potentially be a fantastic street race. It could potentially be an amazing street circuit.
I think it's how they've got the public.
Yeah, I mean, where would they then block off, shoehorn certain sections of LA, of Las Vegas, for them to be able to do it? As well as you've got people going in and out of casinos or whatever.
Well, they've blocked it off in such a way that I just don't feel that anybody else is in.
But you need to block it off to still have people wanting to watch it.
Definitely.
So you've got to block it off through like the main kind of parades.
And that's what they've done. In other words, it's just about the race and where you can afford to buy a seat.
So, well, you don't have like, it's blocked off, but me and you could stand up and watch it.
No,
kind of thing.
No,
that doesn't happen. So then it's like you might as well be on the track.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But to pay,
because you've got to for the street race to have that kind of energy. People have got to be able to
exactly
to give it that. Yeah.
So Las Vegas, that's November 19th to 21st, and then we've got from the 27th to 9th Qatar. That's the penultimate race.
Yeah.
And December 4th to 6th Abu Dhabi. Who is going to be top of the championship? Well, at the moment we've got Kimi Antonelli at 100 points.
Yeah.
He's
we need to do a live. We need to watch the race, and we need to do a live stream.
Oh gosh.
Watching the race.
I don't know if I can allow people to see you watch the race live.
No man, that would be it. That would be like no, because we need that. That's what people want to see.
I don't know if we need that.
We need it.
Because it's much more.
Yeah. I used to wear a lot, but I was a chop. And I don't even bother. Yeah. But then again, when Spurs play and I'm at the shop, I don't get that animated.
Okay.
Not that.
It's football. I don't, you know.
I'm too physio, sports science orientated.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm too professional, too like.
Well, I feel a little bit like that, I suppose.
Yeah.
This is the effervescent part of myself when it comes to the show. When I'm watching the race, admittedly, I've got papers around me because I am making notes.
Yeah.
Depending if it's the first time watching, sometimes I decide to watch it the first and second time. But I'm also into it. I mean, I've got a big screen, but I could do with a bigger one.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. I could really do with a bigger screen. Let's get a little bit of this. And what time are we now? Oh, are we soon to our lovely. Oh, so when? Oh, we're quarter past the hour. You're going to be kidding me.
We are quarter past. We are indeed.
Okay, so we'll be speaking to Carol very soon. Very soon. Of next racing generation. Her diary is just like you'd be amazed. Well, I'm always amazed. Okay. Hello, Carol. How are you doing there?
Well, thank you.
Okay, we've got you right on air right now. We are speaking with the lovely Carol Glenn of Next Racing Generation. It's 18 minutes past the hour 6. It is Tuesday. It's still quite bright, but it's overcast where we are here. Definitely. So, Mr. Bright Guy, Professor McIntyre, sorry, Professor Johnson, get it right, Sheda. Professor Johnson, let me get the right teeth in, is here with us in the studio, but more importantly, talking about your diary first, Carol.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are.
Hi.
My diary, yes. Let's go back a bit. So last Tuesday,
Yeah.
I was at Silverstone with, who was I with? I was with Women in Innovation, which is part of the new Innovation Centre at Silverstone, and it was in association with F1 Academy. So we had 450 kids come to the school, came from different schools in the areas, and they had a session with F1 Academy, and then they had a session with us volunteers where they had to design an autonomous vehicle.
That's right.
In the air, on the land, and in the sea. So
I love that.
So absolutely interesting things came up. It was absolutely awesome.
That was great. All the information. The fact that I remember you said that they had to do it in a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
and
about 20 minutes, 20 minutes, so they had a lot. They had to work as a team, so that was really quite good. And we had to just sort of like judge them at the end, give them their feedback. So yeah, that was really exciting.
Did we ever say which one won? Does it matter?
But no, because it was all over.
Doesn't matter.
There wasn't an overall winner. It was just about them collaborating, and it was teaching them also that in business, sometimes a boss will tell you to do something, and you haven't got a lot of time to think about it, and you've got to collaborate with other people. So that's what it was teaching them.
Yeah, very true. Also going back a little bit.
Sorry, I forgot to mention another thing I was going to the week before.
Westminster?
Like, yes. And I've gone to the Lord Mayor of Westminster. I didn't know there was a Lord Mayor of Westminster. I knew there was a Lord Mayor of London. And we've got the Mayor of London. I just know there's a Lord Mayor of Westminster.
Neither did I.
And he was
Mighty
trying
Barbara.
to think what his name was again. Sorry, I've forgotten already. And I was there as a guest of RC Vision, who I often help out, who RC cars, and the Lord Mayor had been to his full name is Right Worshipful, the Lord Mayor of Westminster, Councillor Paul Dimmelberg. And he'd been to an event that RC Vision had done. I was so necked up by what they'd done, he said he wanted to host a reception to highlight. So they were able to get lots of different people in, sponsors, prospective sponsors, schools, to come and showcase the event. It was lovely, and I thought it was so nice for it to be done with an outside organisation that wanted to help promote the work that RC Mission was doing, and to give them some reasons. And it was, again, a lovely venue, and again, I've worked in London for many, many years, and Victoria has changed so much.
Definitely.
And again, the Mayor's office is actually on Victoria Street, but it's in a fairly new building, and it's 19 floors high. And the Lord Mayor's parlour, as they call it, is on the 19th floor, so there are some spectacular views of London from there. Including you could actually see into the back garden of Buckingham Palace, which I thought was quite cute.
That's true. Once you do go to a certain height and you can see the views of London, it's nice. And I must stress, there's a lot that's free in London. So for someone to stress that there's no excuse to, go to a museum. They were meant that the parks. There's a lot to do in London that is free. So I just want to stress that.
Yeah, there's often guides now about places you can go to that are free. I mean, one of the ones I remember going to before the pandemic, and I haven't been back since. But if you go down to I think it's Aldgate, there's a garden. There's a garden that's on about, it's about 20th, 30th floor. And again, it's free to go in, and it's on the rooftops, but again, you're right next door to the Roma building.
Yes.
And all the things you can see. It's absolutely fantastic.
I must admit, my sister introduced me to the roof gardens of London. You can get the roof gardens of London, see a bit of the views, and when you can see London from a different perspective is everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and then this week, Friday, I'm going to, after being part of the win, they sent us a desk, and there was one of the schools that came, they want people to come along to volunteer to be, again, judges for something that the kids are doing. This is going to be in Northamptonshire. So I'm still waiting for the final details, but I'm going to be heading down to Northamptonshire
on Friday.
On Friday, so I'm going to tell you more about that next week.
Thank you very much, and judging.
And they have a thing called Bring Engineering to Your Classroom, Primary Engineering.
And this is obviously for high school?
Yeah, yes.
Bring engineering to the classroom. What do you call that revolution? Not steel. I'm talking about when we had all the trains and the professor. Obviously, when we're talking about
industrial.
Thank you very much. That's what Thank you very much. The Industrial Revolution.
Oh, that's what we're yes.
So I'm saying that to say that obviously it's important that as they're building up the engineering, because things don't get the creation, you need engineering to propel the people.
Absolutely.
That's about propelling the industry and being a part of that and having the thinking, because with children, and I say children from the point of view, those who, for the amount of years that phones have been invented, some have known nothing other than just to use their thumbs and that's it.
Yeah.
And with little reading from that side. So I'm really pleased to hear that bring engineering to the classroom. It's going to be a problem, I suppose, for the country, for industry, for farming, for technology, if we don't continue to create and progress in some aspects. So thank you. So with that judging, and then obviously we spoke about Westminster trucks.
Oh, so yeah, so I was going to have a very quiet weekend this month, because after finishing off the good of that, nothing else in my diary, sort of classroom wise, whatever, until July. I should sit back on my own, the whole phone call from the office.
it
No,
was just for that event?
that's just for this particular event. Well,
Right.
say that because a particular plant has gone sick, so I don't know. At the moment, I just, it's right on the it's a one-off, but I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt. Unfortunately, you have the training for that, obviously, because you would have gone.
I'm the operations and the judicial, and the thing was, I've got all operational parking this year, no judicial.
Right.
So I actually wanted to have some judicial judicial measure. If anything goes wrong, you've got to then tell drivers off. And with our regulations having changed in the last couple of years, I think that's now called the NCRs. If you don't get to use them and apply the rules, then you sort of get a bit rusty. So
Yes.
I quite like. Yes, on the 16th, 16th, 17th, I'll be down at Thruxton with, not being, well, I'll be a restaurant only for my races, but I've got to do, so I'm busy this afternoon trying to run up to drive, I've got to do drivers' briefings, because I have to keep the drivers before they go out, and unfortunately, both my races, both different temperatures, are one after the other, so I'm going to have a very, very busy weekend, so I just hope they'll get to the judicial, or I'll be sat in the room all weekend, just take drivers off, so I should make sure I tell them that at my briefing that it's just have a good time, respect each other, and behave themselves. Exactly.
Do you have any questions there, Professor? There?
I mean, it's the I'm quite in terms of like the engineering stuff and looking at those kind of parallel existential careers and professions and vocations and skills around the sport and
about motorsport.
It's about motorsport, even things that are you've got careers in and around sport that there's so much focus on the performer and the competitor and the athlete.
Yes.
And then there's not enough the peripheral focus around the people in the background and what they do. And then all of those skills do have an impact on us as human beings, as a civilization, as a society.
It trickles down.
Yeah, it's a trickle down, and we need those skills. We need engineers.
Yes.
We need medical people. So the trickle down impact of those people, they're working at the high end, so they're working with the 1%ers, the 5%ers. But those skills are trickle down skills that we need in society.
Yes,
You know?
Thank you. Thank you. We are now coming up to 6:30. So before we go into the race weekend, and obviously sharing part of the weekend that was had, did we talk about Silverstone Girls on Track? We haven't gone to Girls on Track, have we?
Oh yes, sir. And I'm also Friday in Northampton. Sorry, thank you. And then on Saturday morning I've got to go down to. We've got about 40 odd girls going around at the touring car event at Tap on Saturday.
40.
So yes, I'm taking them out. So that's going to be quite good. So I'll be out on Saturday as well. So again, I'll better update you on that when I come back.
Now you say 40. That sounds like numbers have gone up.
Yeah, this is a bigger one than normal because rather than having separate hub events, we're having one big event this year. So yes, it's slightly bigger than normal.
Yeah.
Is that pleasing, and is that because of the demand, or otherwise just take a chance?
You know what, the demand, but we just find that with the smaller hubs sometimes, we were getting a lot of dropouts, which was a bit frustrating, and so we decided we'll try this way.
And that's more than likely better, because if you have 15, you might get 5 that drop out, you know, for all different reasons, medical, emergencies and so forth. So at least that gives your pool much more of a buoyancy for, you know, how much you can really catch in the net. And then you continue it. And how many of them, let's say, and I'm just asking this out of the bag, for those that have been a part of Girls on Track because Girls on Track are now been back for quite a number of years, obviously, celebrating.
Still celebrating our 10th year.
10th year. How many of those have been there, let's say, on average, and I'm not putting you on the spot, let's say from the beginning? What would you say?
That's what I think. When we had our big party thing at the REC Club,
That's
we
right.
moved in there right when it was first started out as very different, which been done last week before we taken over by the Girls on Track. So some girls have been in it for them. Have literally got their jobs, got their dream jobs, you know, 3 Girls on Track by doing all the volunteering and all the other bits and pieces. So yes, it's been great success.
It does make a difference. I think before we talk about the main race of the weekend, I see kind of like nose are twitching there, Professor. What were you going to say?
No, not at all.
Okay, good. So that was a false twitch there. So what I'm going to do is we'll play a little bit of music, and I think we'll come back with something. Let's go. There we go. Have I got it? There we go. I am pressing the button. There we go. There we go. Da, 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 da. A little bit of crazy in love. Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy in love with my F1.
Yeah. I'm just looking up quickly to see if there's any gossip. No real gossip.
There isn't any real gossip, is there? So, should we talk about, I suppose, the spring, the Kim, and we'll just chat.
Yes.
I'll put a little bit of music in.
Very big. I'll just.
I think I might go with a little bit of the results in there too, actually. What did I put there? With it. I've got the calendar. Okay, we've got another 3 minutes on that. Oh, there you go. We need to, okay, so we want to go to the sprint qualifying. Tyres or something, which I found was quite interesting. Do you want to say a little bit about Alex Zanardi?
You're reading my mind. You are absolutely reading my mind. I was going to start with that.
Okay, should we go there? Should we go there first?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, so you say what you want to say, then
Yes.
I'm gonna say Professor. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Professor, we'll go to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep the conversation between the two of you, maybe. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And then when you hear me, I'm gonna cut you about 22.
Okay.
About 5 minutes. Is that all right, Carol?
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. We're live on what we're live on? We're live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube. We're
At the
live
moment.
on Not Just Football 7142 on YouTube channel.
So we're live on Ricardo's channel right now. So if you want to see us, that's what we're just to let you know. Carol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay.
How many things can I look at to the same?
I know that's yeah. If you see me, I'm holding a phone. I've got breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think that's enough of the music. I'm going to come back and you've got so much patience with the music. Okay. Okay. In fact, I should play a little song. I'm going to play a little Thunderbirds for. I'm going to play a little bit of Thunderbirds for Alex. Okay, that's what I'll do. I think it'd be nice. Okay. Shall I give you the phone with Carol, and then that'll make it easier?
Yeah.
Is that all right then? Because you're going to have a conversation with them, okay? Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let her know that the microphones are down, but let her know that you've got the phone.
Alright, I've got the phone, Carol.
Okay.
So now I'm going to get on my little thing about Mr. Alex Zanardi.
Last yes. It was very sad. I think it came through on Saturday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Alex Zanardi had died. And I remember watching the race, back in those early days.
Yeah.
I think more important what people
It's 6:34.
remember it was that he had that very, very, very bad accident,
Yeah.
which made him a
There's nothing worse than living worse, is there?
I think paraplegic, really. He
Yeah.
was,
He didn't cut him short at all. He just was like, wow, listen, I've now gone into my second lane and I'm gonna now get into Paralympic para sports.
yeah. So he
I hope you guys not talking because you know you're off now, right?
got various gold medals and that during
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Yeah.
And in fact, returned to Brad's hat quite a few times.
Yeah.
I think when they did the cycling race, the Paralympics,
Yeah.
that was held at Brad's hat.
Yeah.
Got the cycling and he went there. But the thing was, it's very, very sad that he had another accident in 2020. They had
Mhm.
like, and I
Yeah.
don't think he ever recovered from that. It was very sad because he was a twice IndyCar winner. He also was up in IndyCar. He was a two-time IndyCar. He also did Formula 3000 back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of what we call those names that you always had when you always used to hear when the racing was on. And it's just very, very sad to hear him gone.
Yeah. I think it's always. I think when you've got people like
You know, we're talking about lights and people shining their lights, and there's a light which shone and it's dimmed now. And we're talking about Alex Zanardi. Alex Zanardi, whose light dimmed over the past few days. I think he passed on Friday and was celebrated. He was given a minute's silence at the track on Sunday, and it was quite something in concerns to just realise that this inspirational man, and it's inspiring because he made the impact in Formula One, and then through an accident, both of his legs were amputated, and then he went on to make another impact in cycling and became a Paralympian. Now, there are those who obviously do make impacts within Paralympics because they take that same energy and they go into the Paralympic world in such a way, you know, just because of whatever circumstances it may be. But however, this was something that was quite, I suppose, close to many people's heart, I can see. So with that said, obviously with yourself, Carol, and Professor, how has such an athlete made an impact in, or what are your thoughts and concerns, Alex?
if you like, I mean, I'm happy for Carol to go first.
What's that? I missed that last bit.
Oh, well, the impact that Alex and Adi had. What was your?
Oh, great impact, because he was one of those, what we call true gentlemen. Had a good sense of humour, and even after he lost his legs,
Yeah.
in 2001, you know, he came back with prosthetics and was drove in Atlantic World Tour cars with the BMW. He became, as I said, he became a multiple gold medal Paralympian. You know, he never gave up.
No.
He didn't let his, what happened to him give up at all. And I know he's given a lot of inspiration to lots of people. But
Yeah.
if you look back to what he did, you know, he was, he raced for Georgia back in 1991.
Yes.
He was called up by Minardi, the replacement for Christian Fittipaldi. You know, but back in the 90s, his name was around. He had a clash with Damon Hill and Williams at Carlisle.
I didn't realise he did.
There's lots of names. He used to be in Formula F3000.
Yeah.
That was around in 1991. And that would have been around roughly, I think, at that time. No, it was after 40 was for the quite there, I think.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
You know, he was a very good driver.
Yeah.
You know, they went to Indy cars.
He's Monte Carlo
He
as
got
well.
a pole in his second Indy car race in Rio in 1996. You know, so he was, I wouldn't say he was he was a good driver. His name would be up there with a lot of people.
I think also as well, for what usually tends to happen is that some people get into a sport or an event and they perform very, very well and perform competently, or they get to a world-class standard. And then if they tend to have an injury or they tend to have an accident which leaves them hospitalized, that usually, for a lot of people, that seems to be it. And very few people manage to say, you know what, I've lost my legs, got prosthetics, I can't drive anymore, but you know what, I'm going to find a way. And he went into Paralympic sports and was a true champion, going from able-bodied to making that transition to a Paralympian, and he didn't allow his injury or his physical disability to impede him. And I think that's something that's really, really commendable.
Yeah. The other person that I think that you could like that in the modern day now is, of course, if you all remember Willy Wonka, still around.
Yes.
Had a horrific accident as well at Donington Park, not all Park, of course, and he lost one of his legs. But again, he hasn't let it take over his life.
No.
Again, he did a bit of racing still for a while. He's now gone on to become a Paralympian. He's done various marathons, walking, and he's also become a pundit.
Yes.
So going as well.
Yeah, of course, you know.
I think it came about at a time when you didn't see Paralympics from the point of view of how early it was.
Yeah,
It
you
wasn't
didn't.
as popular
Yeah,
then as it is now.
yeah,
And
not at all, not at all.
just how he was able to highlight the ability of to still, you know, the tenacity
Yeah,
of that
yeah, of
as
course.
a racing.
Of course.
So even as a and the discipline from one sport into another rather
Yeah,
than that.
Yeah.
That's really encouraging. And Billy, as one of the younger drivers, to help us see that, and also to see that the sport actually makes a way, or sports makes a way for those who are less impaired, or otherwise who has to change their physical being to be a part of a sport. That's,
Yeah.
you know, I want to be, I suppose, sensitive. Because
Yeah.
obviously for those of us who have our legs and have certain limbs, it's also looking at others without those limbs and doing so much more.
yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
I think, you know, I've got my legs and doing a lot less from the point of view of the strength and everything else. Yes,
And
definitely.
it's a good example. I think this is a good example for somebody to, for somebody who can be in that situation to then be an example to
Yeah.
us, or be an example to myself. Or I might get up and feel, sharp, can't be bothered. But yeah, you know, somebody's got a disability and they're not feeling sorry for themselves. So it helps to put things into perspective as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you. Before we let's do it. I've got this track for him actually. That's what it is. I looked at a Thunderbird because I thought these are Thunderbirds are.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hi.
Okay, we're just going to play a little bit of Thunderbirds for him.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. So, with that, obviously, moving on to the race of the past few days, which was Miami. The other sprint weekend that we have with this, which means we've got the practice one, then we've got the qualifying for the sprint, then we've got the sprint, we've got the qualifying for the race, then we've got the race. So, as said, I'm just going to go through, for those that don't know, just what the qualifying results for the sprint was. So, for pole, who got pole for the qualifying sprint, we had Norris, Kimi, Oscar, Charles, Max, not happy, which would have been, who's that? P.G. Ham, okay, we move on. Can't read my writing there. Pinto, Isaac, Gasly, Ortoletto, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Sainz, Lawson, Stroll, Perez, Albon, Bottas, and there was a few which didn't kind of like make it. Then we had Stroll and Lindblad, and that's because Lindblad started from the pit, and Hulkenberg he had a blow up, I think, for the.
So he can't qualify, didn't
That's
he?
it. Yeah, he had a blow up. That's what happened to him. That was the qualifying for the sprint. Then obviously we had the sprint, which Norris did win. Any feedback on the actual sprint race? Any thoughts? 19 laps.
The sprint race was interesting. He sort of gained a little bit of a, not say false hope, he sort of thought, how was it, this is the first time we actually saw, I think, after the last in China, seeing all the cars back on top fours, you could see they all came back with something.
Great.
Red Bull and
Ferrari.
spinning tails.
Red Bull, but they've got a bigger one now. It's like
Red Bull is two cars.
Red Bull and Ferrari. Because
Red Bull and Ferrari.
Red Bull and Ferrari, yes, I believe yes.
And obviously the drivers have all been practicing their starts on the sims, their calories that they'll be taking, so you saw that they weren't all running out of power in the wrong place as much as they did on the first couple of races.
Yes.
So obviously there's been a lot of work done on that. A few little hiccups. I think some of the starts are still a little bit messy.
Which includes Antonelli, inconsistent his starting. Not the best, but you know, really.
And I really do think now that with the sprint, what they should do, rather than having another qualifying, they should say, where you finish in the sprint is where you should start for the main race.
To make
That
it.
makes more sense for me to have a
Okay.
sprint. I still can't stop having a sprint race.
So, but the sprint race is really about points. That's what I think, it's about points. And it wasn't a time to give us a bit more action. Now, excuse me, now we have the action. So what you're saying is, where they finish in the sprint should be the qualifying for the actual main race.
Yeah. And then it means that they've got to work through to try and get their best. And then I think that means there's a lot more strategy going on.
That's a lot more, that's like a double qualifying. So like you qualify for the sprint, then you have the sprint, and when you finish up in the sprint means that you've qualified then.
You've qualified, of course, exactly. Because for example, if they're being running on Saturday,
Yes.
like they were predicted on Sunday,
Correct.
and they couldn't do qualify, and guess what? They would have to use those results.
Has a situation like that ever occurred? But would they have done that? Do you think they would have used the results when the race would have been called off? Would they have used the race? Can you hear me now? Would they have used the race results, or have they ever a situation like that happened?
Yes, they have. Yeah, because we've had it 4 years ago when they had to qualify because of rain or whatever,
Right.
and then they either use the results from the previous race,
Right.
or the times from one of the qualifiers. There is force majeure for that.
So I think there's an opportunity for that to be considered should that happen here, because I really didn't think that there was going to be such a difference with the race being moved forward. Because when I realised, as we both know, ultimately they have decided to move the race forward, which, you know, made a whole difference to the day in some respects. But it was safer to do that, and it allowed for, I suppose, them to race in drier conditions rather than, you know, rain.
The sprint, Norris finished first, and then Anthony was second, and Kurt was up there, and Oscar, and then Verstappen came up. Jordan and Hamilton were always in the same place as they were next race.
Yes.
So it would have been about strategy. Would we have the same result as we had this weekend, where apparently on the longer stint, McLaren's managed to get up there and we become 1-2.
Maybe in concerns to, let's say, Lando getting a good start, because there was a time when his starts weren't so fantastic, but the fact that we then saw for the next qualifying that Antonelli got the pole for the race. I'm going to quickly go over and let the public know what the results for the sprint were. So our sprint results, we had Lando, Norris, Antonelli came second, then we had Leclerc. So Ferraris were up there third, which I can't say I was surprised, but it did. We had quite a few, you know, leaders for that race, which is good. Then what have I got? Yeah. Oh no. I do apologise there. For the sprint, we had Norris, then we had Oscar, then we had Leclerc, Antonelli, Russell, Max, Hamilton, Gasly, Hadjar. Now, for me, that made a difference because obviously he was in the top 10, but remember it's the first 8 that get points for the sprint. Then we've got Colapinto, Bortoletto, Ocon, Behrman. So we had the Haas up there, which was good for them. Then who's that? Science, Lawson, Alonso, Stroll, Albon, and our DNF there was Hulkenberg and Lindbergh. I think I got one missing. I got one missing possibly. Wasn't Hadjar. But yeah, Lindblad and Hulkenberg didn't start. Didn't finish for the sprint. So that was that for the sprint results. So the first 8 got 8 points, 8-1 respectively. That would have meant that, which the results for the actual race in qualifying was quite different. Mind you, got a point because obviously Russell Hamilton, Leclerc, who made it to, where did he get? He finished third, so he would have been third anyway. Quite right. He would have been third anyway in the qualifying.
Yeah.
He would have been third anyway. So Hamilton, he finished 6th, So yeah, he has to be confident. So the middle, what do you think of the middle, the guys in the middle now? We've got Haas coming up a little bit, the Williams. I'm now going into the qualifying for the actual race. Those that are coming up. Hulkenberg just doesn't really seem to get past Q2 anyway. But he's doing better. He's doing better, but obviously with a different kind of car now, they have their own problems. And I suppose it's really about the power pack and the upgrades that have come, and then upgrades to come. So we've still got McLaren. My apologies. We've still got McLaren still to show their upgrades at this time. Oh, is it Mercedes? No, Mercedes still to show their upgrades. Because I don't think they brought any much upgrades.
They're always going with upgrades for this week.
But some of them didn't bring all of them. I don't think Mercedes brought all of them, or McLaren brought all of their upgrades.
McLaren did, of course McLaren did, so their cars were much better than what they had been from before.
So Mercedes did bring all of their upgrades, that was it.
Right?
Mercedes did bring all their upgrades. They've still got to bring some of their upgrades, which we may see in Canada. Which I think is going to make a difference. But the power packs are looking much better. Any views on the power packs?
Maybe it's the thing, I mean, that first, there were a lot of complaints, weren't there, Carol, initially, earlier on. And now people are kind of just been able to adjust to it a little bit more.
Yeah. As I said, I think during that month break, I know that a lot of the drivers have been on their sims and practicing, and there's been a lot of more stuff. They're practicing their starts. There has been a little bit of testing going on as well for them to get all that. Understanding this overtake boost and also the power when they do the starts. There's been a lot more work on that. So so I think it wasn't as messy as it was in the first 2 or 3.
So when, just to clarify for my understanding, when they brake, that's when the battery actually charges up, so that then they can use that charge to overtake, let's say, on a straight, because obviously they haven't got the same. You use it maybe on the straight, it's not going to start from this straight, but you've also got to start putting it in and think about the corner. You have to miss the timing, because if you do it too early, before you got into the straight, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then you've got to build back up that speed, enough boost to get you around the first corner.
Is that why we've been seeing some really good overtaking, like obviously with Leclerc and Russell, where one took one over and obviously come the next corner. And the nice thing about Miami, we've got 19 corners. I think it's 7th to left, 8th, 7th to 19, so we've got 7 going on, 9 10 in that sense, to the right and left. So you've got that different torque, so you've still got to make sure that once you've been overtaken on one way with those chicanes, you still have the opportunity, if you time it right, to get back, and that's what we were saying. We were seeing that a lot more, which I thought was quite, that made the race a lot more exciting. A lot of undercuts going there, and even though, unfortunately, we had the accident with Colapinto. That was Colapinto and who asked me? Who did he take off? Colapinto. He took off Hadjar. No, Hadjar took himself off. Hadjar took himself off. Lawson. Lawson, because Gatsby in concerns to. And didn't finish the race. So the DNFs for the actual race were Hulkenberg, Lawson, Gasly, and Hadjar. And Hadjar, I think it was on lap 2. He hit the wall, and unfortunately, he didn't make it for the rest of the race, which I was quite disappointed about, unfortunately. Also, with these new packs, because they could, I suppose, speed away so much easier. I'm not seeing so much difference within the cars. I mean, it's really quite close. Whereas last season it might have been close, well, it's kind of close, within maybe 4 tenths. We're seeing it a lot closer now, with so many more cars in the top 10. Really, and Williams are in there. Check out Williams with Sainz and Albon, and Alpine with Colapinto, which I was quite impressed. That's one of his best for the year so far, concerned to that. Our middlemen being Burnham, Bortoletto, Ocon, Lindblad, Alonso. Congratulations, Alonso, with Danny, prize. So, any other feedback, any other thoughts and concerns to Miami, Carol?
Well, it proves to be quite an interesting race. Let's see what Michelle's going to do.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll settle down, but I think we've definitely got a four-way battle at the top. I don't think it will always be Antonelli's way, but he is driving well. Although he was a little bit scattered around because he did get quite a lot of track limits at the weekend, so he's quite careful.
You don't love those things.
It's like you can't start flaking with all the pressure now.
Is track with track limits? As you said, he did get quite a few flags with that to a point where Bono came on and said, "Okay, you've been warned twice now, and three. Then it's a black and white flag that he gets."
Black and white flag, yeah.
And then what would have happened? Then it's points and concerns to obviously penalties, which now I know I'm detracting a little bit, but it does bring me to Max. Now Max was a real he spun at the beginning of the race, which I think valid was he did quite well to come back because he spun, found himself in like 18th, 19th position, got back up into 5th position before you knew it. But however, that wasn't through no reason of obviously elbowing everybody else as he went through the pack. And, people just, he pushes people off, which a sign of a good driver or a sign of a bully or a sign of I've got to get through. But he's enjoying his racing in a different way now, I think. Because he's got used to the car, got used to the pack.
To get through.
Yeah, well, I suppose, if you want to get to the top, you've got to push people out of the way in some respects. Maybe, but there was one person when he complained quickly. He was like, "Yeah, he pushed me off." I said, "No, he didn't. What did he do? He didn't push me off." Oh, that was right when I think he went over the lines before coming out of the onto the track, coming out onto the grid. So coming out of the pit lane, his tyre was a little bit over the line. But they decided actually to look at that after the race, whereas it was quite evident that he had done that. So I wonder why such a decision was left until after the race rather than making that decision there and then. I wish they would be very firm about what kind of points you get for what you do, rather than it's willy-nilly considered to what points you might get.
So which points are you talking about? The face of this, right?
I'm talking about the points. I'm talking about Professor. I'm talking about the points that you get when it comes to his tyre was over the line when he was coming out of the pit lane. So
Are you talking about the penalties for track limits and things like that?
yes, I mean sometimes you get. Sometimes with F1 we hear different penalties for different situations rather than keeping it streamlined.
It's frustrating because the same as in National. In qualifying, that fastest lap is deleted.
Right.
In the race, once you've done it twice, you get a black flag.
Right.
If you do it 3 times, you get a 5-second penalty. If you do it 4 times, you've got to do a drive-through.
As opposed, okay. Okay.
But it's very clear. It's very clear. It's not really near at all.
Then why didn't they just make that decision at the time rather than saying we're going to look at it after the race?
Because the stewards want to do that, and then they want to just double check that they don't want to look at the camera routines to make sure they have actually got all 4 wheels off the track.
Right.
It's clear cut. If there's you can see them just go out. It's famous for Brands Hatch. In fact, at Brands Hatch, there's that Donington and Stetson. We've actually got sensors, so it's very clear cut.
Oh wow.
There's no if or when it wherefores. But when you're
privilege, I must say, and I know we'll chat more in concerns just going through the races. We're going to be in Canada in the next few weeks, so then we'll obviously look and see what happens. We've got another sprint race weekend, and within the time, obviously, all the best with the judging on Friday in Northampton there for you. I hope that's very much enjoyed, and obviously continue with the trucking if they call you up, thinking that you've got another weekend to yourself, but it doesn't always happen because you're always very busy from what you do, and it's really good to hear that Girls on Track, you know, just the fact that the numbers have grown to have such an event where it's, I suppose it's maybe something to continue and you know of the norm really for the girls. I mean that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
That's good when you think of the representation.
Mhm.
Last words with you, Carol.
Sorry, last one thing?
Last words with you always.
Yeah, well, it's hot enough. I think we're going to have this battle between Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull coming up there with Max. He's not giving up. So I think we are looking for an exciting different season this year. So let's see what Montreal brings us before they come back to Europe. Well, it's not that long before the British Grand Prix.
It's not that
Oh,
long.
so the next day as well was, I saw, when I was at Silverstone the other day, following the view before I was the lead, I could see on the couple corners, it's
Is this the Norris one? The Norris.
the Dando, yes, it was very, very impressive, very, very
Oh
impressive.
wow. So I'm thinking, let me get my little, you know, I have to get me Silverstone little map out actually. So as you go, obviously down Hamilton Straight, then you do the right, and you come around. Is it like at the start finish, or is it further on?
It's just after the start finish, after that
Okay.
first corner.
Okay.
Yeah, after that first corner.
It's first space
down
up
there.
there. Nice, nice. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We look forward to speaking with you next week, and have yourself a great time. Give us a little bit of a sound effect, Mr.
What?
There we go.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're just off air. We can hear you there, Carol. Oh, she's gone. Oh, okay. Whoosh. Okay, today, just a minute.
Today, just a minute. Yay. Yay. Not because everyone's lined up. It's like, it just goes zoom, 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 zoom. The 3 hours do just fly.
No, some people just not serious. Okay, with all that said, how are you feeling in concerns to this young man of 18 years of age who is now leading the Formula One championship?
I think it's exciting that somebody under the age of 21 is in such an advantageous position. I suppose when you've got in any sport, and again, we can make the same example with the young man that's just won the World Championship,
Which World
the
Championship?
World Snooker Championship.
Okay, who won? I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I heard there was a final. But
Yeah. So the young man from China.
he won?
Yeah. he
Come
won.
on now.
Yeah.
And I saw him play, you know.
Yeah. No, he's good.
And that's why, because remember when we were talking about the Crucible the week before last?
Yes.
And China obviously were bidding to hold that.
Yes.
And I'm pleased that Crucible is still going to stay.
Yes, we're going to stay here. And you've got that, realistically speaking, him winning,
Mm-hmm.
if the Crucible was in any danger of not being able to host the World Championship, with them having 2 back-to-back Chinese champions, and with a lot of the money and sponsorship coming from China, there's a very, very strong argument to then permanently move it.
Wow.
And once it goes there, if they keep winning, then the ball game. I mean, I think that the amount of young Chinese snooker players that are in China, I was told that the amount of snooker tables in Hong Kong, there's almost as many snooker tables as people.
Okay, now that's quite a statement.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they were into,
Yeah.
I suppose, is that snooker, which includes billiards, does that include
Yeah,
pool?
yeah.
Because you're going to have pool. You're gonna
So
have
it's
pool.
from a historical point of view, the British Army, wherever they went, like in India and in China and in Shanghai, Hong Kong and in Shanghai,
Yes.
they set up in the mess halls
Right.
and for the officers, they set up snooker tables.
Of course.
And in India and in Hong Kong, the local residents would have not been allowed to play,
Yes.
but they would have had to have been serving tea, so on and so forth. So there was always this kind of colonial, very much like how in very much like how in cricket in the Caribbean, the Africans, African Caribbean individuals were not allowed to be captain.
Yes.
That there is this aspirational psychology, what do you want to call it, inferiority complex, whatever, to then be a part of something that you've been excluded from. So if you take that, and then if you have so many snooker tables, I did hear also as well, and I can't substantiate this, and I don't want anybody to say anything negative. I'm not going to swear at you about that, but I did hear that the triads were heavily involved in snooker matches and gambling and so on and so
Well, that
forth.
wouldn't
So
surprise
that
me, that's just like...
and it took over a lot of the snooker halls.
When
Like,
I think of snooker,
Yeah.
I think of the snooker, the actual, what is it called?
the long snooker cue.
The cue.
Yeah.
I think of chucks, I think...
Yeah.
I'm thinking fencing, I'm thinking...
Yeah. Martial arts
Sort of
and
weapon, but and that's...
that kind of thing. Yeah.
And in fact, it concerns to film, because I told you I'm watching Bruce Lee.
Martial arts. It's still a sport.
Very much sport.
Yeah.
Really impressed in concerns to just how much more I know about him, what he did, what he brought to the sport. But with all that said, in just a moment we shall most definitely be speaking with our lovely Tunde Talks football.
Yeah.
So let's just put that on, and I think, let's just, we'll just chill it out a little bit. Just chill it out just a little bit. As we speak to Tunde. That was really interesting what you said there about snooker. I really thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Like I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of sports that the British Empire have exported to parts of the world, and there were probably some gentlemen in the 1980s who wish they hadn't brought cricket to the Caribbean. They probably regretted it. Getting their head licked off by the board.
You're listening to www.bbmcradio.com. It's Professor Johnson with Sheda here. There we go. I saw that.
Yeah. Export it.
I'm playing sexual healing. Ooh. Today. Sorry about that. I'm playing the thing and I forgot to. Okay. So, you're right there? Okay. Okay, good. And just some shout outs to her. Okay, I'm gonna come with you just now. As soon as you hear me call your name, you're there, okay? And I got Professor with us in the house.
Cool.
Alright then, okay. Yeah, sexual healing. So that could be good for some of us.
Yeah,
I think it's good for anybody, really.
yeah, it is very much so. It's needed.
Yeah, and obviously, keep it clean.
Keep it clean, keep it clean.
www.bigmcradio.com. It brought me back to thinking about my man there in concerns to just the music and how music and sport, I suppose, really do play a part.
Yeah.
Music and sport. Well, I mean, it's in football as well. In concerns
Mhm,
to chanting
Yeah.
and that track, really did. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with that, so I'll just.
No, well, it does. There's a synergy.
People, you know
That's
what
a
I mean? It's
synergy.
good for our well-being, it's good for words, with community spirit, and let me tell you, like, tonight,
Yes, go and see what I mean.
it's a big night for anybody who's wearing red. All those North Londoners, the Gooners, Arsenal, they're at home, they're in the semi-final second leg of the UEFA Champions League,
Yeah.
Semi-final there, it's 1-1 on aggregate, kick off at 8 p.m. tonight, so, boy, is there anyone that get the healing, that they get that winning feeling?
Well, I'm telling you.
Okay. I think you're going to have to say a little bit more of that one more time for me, please.
Which part?
I'm all about, I mean, I tell you why, because I think I put down the wrong level and it didn't get
That's alright, that's okay.
No,
I know, innit?
We'll have to give it some context.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I heard you talking about the Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing, yes.
Yeah.
I love this guy, I love his music based on it, and then we're talking about the healing.
Yes, the healing powers.
Football and all that music here is good for our well-being and the healing and all that kind of stuff. But tonight is Arsenal. We need to get that winning feeling because they are in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-final tonight. 8 p.m. They're at home and it's 1-1 on aggregate. That's what I'm saying.
And
that's what's happening tonight. Because we have to, if you go back to last week,
that's right. They lost.
There was, I don't want to talk about the English teams, but for this thing, there was Paris Saint-Germain, who are the holders, and they played Bayern Munich. 9 goals in one game. It was amazing. It was just end-to-end.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Crazy. That's the thing I love about football. No one could have called that game. They play tomorrow, we still can't call it, but I'll tell you what, you need to watch it. You know what I mean? But watch tonight first and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
So that's right, but so does that mean, do they got another game after this one?
No.
So it's like in or out?
If they win tonight, then they will be in the final.
Okay.
So if they win this game tonight, this is the semi-final, this is the second leg, this is win or go home. They need to win. It has to happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, while we're there, I just want to do.
I have to say, congratulations to Arsenal women because they was in the women's Champions League semi-final and they lost. It was a tie game. They lost against Leon Lillet 4-3 on aggregate in the end.
Okay.
But they were close, but they just couldn't get it over the line this time. So that's why I'm telling you, to get all your thoughts and good vibes behind the bed tonight, that's unless you support Spurs. But I was talking about Spurs,
I wanted to. Okay.
They're going to get a W, isn't it?
Oh, man.
I mean, yes.
How does it feel?
You know what?
Well, what it means is that they are out of the relegation zone for the moment.
For the moment,
It's all tight. There's only 3 games left, but people know that they're down to the stumps now. They've got to tell you what, it's just like the pressure is properly on.
Yeah.
First beat Aston Villa 2-1, and Aston Villa was at home. You know what I mean? But the day before, there were 2 London derbies in the Premier League on the Saturday. I was at one of them.
You go, girl.
Proud to be at the G-Tech Stadium. This was Brentford against West Ham, and I'll tell you what, the score was 3-0. It looked like West Ham got beaten up. But I was there. The woodwork got a beating from the West Ham. They hit the woodwork 3 times. That game could have ended 3-3 or anything, but it was 3-0 to Brentford. The bees stung up West Ham. There were no bubbles being blown. I thought about my friend B. And then in the evening, there was the other London derby, and Arsenal turned over full of 3-0. So Arsenal were there, let's all,
fighting to win their first title in over about 20 years. Newcastle beat Brighton. Newcastle needed that win because they hadn't managed to. They've been struggling a little bit, but they beat them 3-1. And then Wolves, you know, already relegated, but they drew with Sunderland 1-1. Burnley are the winner. Burnley are relegated, and they're also managerless now because Scott Parker has left Burnley. I don't know whether he was invited to leave or left by the contact or whatever, but he's no longer the Burnley manager.
Is that a sad thing?
Out of the 34 league games, he was in charge. They won 4. So.
Hold a minute. Are you saying out of 34?
They got beaten 3-1 by league.
Tunde.
Tunde.
She's on the road.
And then they couldn't hold it, and then they ended up losing that game 3-2.
I've got a question here.
That means that Man United, after all their struggles and trials and tribulations, are now qualified for the Champions League next season. So, you know, well done to Liverpool, and well done to Man United. I think Liverpool will also qualify, but it wasn't the defence of their winning season. Because they were, you know, defending champions, and, you know, it's a little bit how the season has turned out. Maybe it wasn't as good as they would have wanted. But you know what, you can't have it all. And they're fighting for the top table rather than certain teams that are fighting to stay in the league. And I'll tell you what, Nottingham Forest, they're fighting.
I'm telling you.
They fought so hard, they beat up Chelsea, man. Beat them up properly, 3-1. Chelsea was at home. Chelsea was having a penalty. This was like,
Oh dear.
It's happening.
Oh dear.
And that's what happens. And then, you thought that wasn't exciting enough. Then there were 6 goals, in one game. 3-3, Everton, Man City. It looked like that. Man City scored early and they could just overrun the game. But no, Everton fought back. They was leading. It looked like they was going to win it. They were 3-1 up. The Man City got back in 3-2. And then, in the 98th minute, Man City got the equaliser 3-3.
98th minute.
They're in on that day. They're still fighting to win the Premier League. But if they'd won the game, it would have been more in their hands. This is in Arsenal's hands. It's all, Arsenal, it's easy to say. What they've got to do is go out and win all the remaining games. But football's not played like that, man. You have to, it's not so easy as the teams are finding out, as Crystal Palace found out when they got beaten up by Bournemouth 3-0. You know what I mean? It's football that they say. It's a funny old game.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I know, that's right. I wanted to just backtrack a little bit in Burnley that's going. Is that
Being relegated.
Being relegated.
There's no debate.
Okay. So I'm not saying if it's a good thing or not so much of a good thing, and I haven't even asked who's coming up. But how long does it usually take for a team when they go down to maybe come back up? What's the average? A season or two? Just thought I'd ask.
The championship is a bit of a graveyard.
And it takes a long time to get back in. Coventry have come back up. Coventry have broken, but it's taken them about 20 years or something to get back in.
Brighton.
It's not so 25 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's some teams who go back, who get relegated and they bounce back up straight away. That's just, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just one of the things that's happening. So since you asked the question, Coventry are going to come up and be playing in the Premier League next season. As like Ipswich Town, Ipswich got relegated last season, and now they're going to come back up.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But the other spot, the remaining spot, we don't know who that will be yet, because then they have the playoffs. So there's 4 teams fighting for that one spot, and that is Hull, Millwall, is that Middlesbrough, and Southampton. So there's one of those would be a Premier League.
Any favourites there?
I just think that Millwall having a chance to get promoted, and Spurs in the relegation dogfight with West Ham.
Right.
So you've got 3 football teams that have got a historically intense rivalry,
Right.
and not all 3 of them will be playing together in the same league. That's confirmed, because one out of Spurs and West Ham will be relegated,
Right.
and Mill will have an opportunity to come into the Premier League.
Right.
Yeah.
So they won't meet each other, so to speak.
They won't meet each other. No. But he's just one of them people there that you don't want on the guest list.
Yes.
You have to wait and see.
Yeah,
There's some
yeah,
twisted.
yeah,
I know there's
yeah.
only 3 games left, but boy.
Yeah.
It can still change.
Yeah.
It still can. I mean, even when I hear those names, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, okay, Ipswich, Hull, Millwall, Southampton.
Southampton, Queen's Park Rangers,
That's a long time.
West Bromwich Albion.
Wow.
All of these teams are teams that are considered to be big clubs that have got a big historical context within the history of British football,
Yes.
and a lot of those clubs are stuck
Mm.
in the second tier because the competition for the Premiership is now so intense,
And the money.
and you've got a team, for example, like Wrexham,
Mm-hmm.
who used to be a first division. I'm using the word first division,
Mm-hmm.
pre-Premiership
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. Swansea,
Right.
Wrexham, and now Wrexham
Mm-hmm.
just missed out by 2 points for a playoff.
Wow.
So therefore, there's resurgence of some old names.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds, again we're talking about entertainment music.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds from America invested in Wrexham
Right.
because he bought Wrexham and
Okay.
brought them from basically non-league semi-pro all the way up to the championship
Oh.
because they've been relegated for decades. And now they got a chance to actually get back into the top tier of football. So, it's very interesting.
Is there a team out of those? I mean, I know you're very diplomatic about this today. That you would consider, otherwise you think not so much deservedly, that more than likely might make it up out of that one spot.
Whoever brings in the most goals.
You see what I mean? That's the right answer.
I wouldn't need to say publicly that what I prefer this team to. No.
Yeah, that wouldn't be right.
Every game that you
Yes, of
start
course.
with,
Okay.
this should- But off air, I'll let you know.
Okay, all right.
Will Millwall at the PFA, if Millwall get promoted to the Premiership,
Mm-hmm.
when the PFA have their annual awards, will Millwall fans be invited to the annual black tie dinner event?
What are you asking me from it? We don't know. And the thing is, we're talking,
Will they gate crash it?
but hasn't football changed? Has football changed in that way? Because that sounds like terrace talk.
Yeah.
Well, you like to think so, right? You would really like to think that football has changed. And I'm not going to call that, I'm not putting a finger at Millwall,
Yes.
right? But Everton played Man City, and then apparently there was, the English word alleged, but a racist abuse allegedly at Semenya from the Everton supporter. This was yesterday,
Yes.
in 2026.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? We still need to keep talking about it, but educate the people and make the sanctions fit with the keyboard cowards that are there, or, in the stands, shouting out abuse, unnecessary abuse, you know what I mean? So,
You think we need some of that 7 million that Keir Starmer's redistributing?
To where? What is it redistributing?
He's given 7 million to the Jewish community for.
Don't let me start. Listening now on www.bbmcradio.com where we can kick a ball, which reminds me.
let's talk about the WSL, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
But before I mention that, I'm just going to just tell people, because I always say it, yeah, there's 37 days left.
37 days.
Yeah, so if your tendon stops and you're running on it before you best start getting that ready,
Yeah.
if you're looking to fly, you have to remortgage the yard.
After remortgage it,
Because I heard about the prices and what the people are charging for getting on a train or for trying to find a hotel in America. Good luck, you know what I mean? I mean, it's supposed to be, football's supposed to be a game for everybody, but it's looking like it's only for everybody who's got a flat wallet at the moment. That's what I'm seeing, you know what I mean? But, you know what, on www.bbmcradio.com, we will keep it updated.
Definitely.
With what's happening over there in Canada, America, and the US of A. Right? So don't worry about that. And also, there's other vegan you can choose, but this is the best one.
I would say that, and I would also say, remember the first game there, that's on Thursday, the 11th of June, that's between Mexico and South Africa. Am I correct there?
Mexico,
Yeah, that's right, that's the first game that's happening.
As one of the hosts, as one of the
hosts.
as one of the hosts you got, because you either have, they're alternating.
Yes.
So the opening fixture would either be the winner, the defending champions, or the host.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what we've got. We've got Mexico and South Africa. Also, with travelling, I can only encourage each and every person who's travelling within the sporting world, travel safe, travel wise.
Yes.
You know, and I'm learning that if you want to go to certain places, before you enter, they want to know what's on your media. They're checking your media.
Yes.
So don't think that, you know, any little quippy thing is going to be okay. Please be aware of what you are putting out there because it's representative of yourself.
Yeah.
And it may be a case, oh, I was just joking. You know, you're in environments
To them, it's
where
not a joke.
it's not a joke. You know, it's coming like Thailand, where before you know it.
Yeah.
Just be aware, people. Just be aware. Be safe. Yeah.
Definitely, please.
It's about you. Make sure, listen. If you don't have travel insurance, don't travel.
Yes.
I say that now. That's different. You need to get that before you book your hotel. Yeah. Get your travel insurance.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know, and it could just be. And all it takes is a circumstantial situation, and you know, if not for yourself, consider those who may be around you also, how they would, you know, have to deal with the situation in concerns to travel insurance. So please be safe, be wise, and don't be not stupid.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's just need to be, you know, you want to go over there, enjoy the match, come back home safely. You might be a bit broke, but you know what I mean? You should have fun. Like, come on, how can you not? You've got to choose from 104 matches.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? 48 teams to watch.
Yes. We still don't know what the England, obviously, squad is going to be and when it's going to be announced at this moment.
Yeah, it's going to be announced. Well, and after the season done and all the cup games are over, then the things can be announced and see which players can still be walking without the assistance of a stretcher.
Yeah, that would be key. That would be key.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. That's so true.
Absolutely.
That's so true. Left, right, and centre. And in some respect, that's quite strategic because even though the English teams are quite international in some respects, are we one of the most? I'm sure that there are other players, you know, obviously playing in different parts of the world, in Europe, but are we one of the most integrated kind of championships in concerns to?
Possibly are.
You know,
Possibly are the most.
No, I don't just
Yeah, I think would be by considerable margin. I think anecdotally, even without looking at the stats, I think I could comfortably say that the Premier League and the Championship are probably the most because of the margin Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's going to make a difference, obviously, to who is fit and who's not fit. And as we see quite often, it's players from the same team playing their, you know, their teammates.
Yeah. And then there's pressure to win these games at the end. Pressure for Arsenal to get into the Champions League.
Right.
Should Saka be playing in these last few games?
Right.
Should other individuals be playing?
Because you know what, right? It doesn't matter. It's just like Arteta is not by the England organisation. His focus is on Arsenal. So as long as Arteta's fit, as long as Saka or whoever English international is fit to play for Arsenal, they play for Arsenal.
Yeah, doesn't really. He's not looking at.
It's not that big problem with England. Yes, he would love his players to be successful for England, but they need to be successful for their club team, for their club first. You know.
Exactly.
Because also, you know, I mean, you can recommend goal, say you don't play, and then he goes and plays for England and he gets injured. I mean, there's no, you know, there's no guarantee. So if the players fit and they're ready and they're hungry, and you want them to play them. You can't. You know, that's what I believe anyway.
I'm going to put some other things out there. Excuse me. Over years, we've had 3 or 4 prominent black players play for England, and with some grievances, you know, in concerns to things that we can more than remember, penalties or otherwise situations, and maybe we've learned from that. I don't know what percentage of black players may be playing for England this time round, but the percentage has obviously grown over the years. Do you think it's going to grow any more to a point where, you know, we've got maybe 75%? I'm just putting it out there.
We can very well field a full black England team, very well.
And who they want to pick, and it depends on the players. If they're good enough, then they should be played.
Mhm.
That's it. You know what I mean? Yes, it's nice to see. As a black woman, I like to see players on the pitch who represent me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Not just one person out of a squad of 25, but I
Of
know
course.
there's more people of colour who play football who are quality.
Yes.
We'll see over time.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. That's only time will tell.
You made quite a statement there, Professor, which was that we could easily fill an England club with.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, they could have done that enough time.
Most definitely, most definitely.
That's
And I don't think we're far off.
Okay. What were you saying, Professor?
I don't think we're far off having being in a situation like France, where
Right.
France could field possibly have 1 or 2 white players
Right.
and have like a 4,
Mhm.
like 11. I think again with France, there's more competition in terms of there's more challenge, not challenges,
Mhm.
but there's more competition from Morocco,
Right.
from Algeria,
Mhm.
from Senegal, and from
Right.
Mali,
Mhm.
of other nations competing for
Right.
the allegiances of French-born individuals, shall we say, are we going to be political and say people of mixed heritage
Right.
or dual heritage
Yes.
who can potentially represent a West African country,
Mhm.
or
As
North
opposed
yeah,
to-
as opposed to the country they're born in because of their parentage.
Mhm.
So we could very well get to a stage where 8 or 9 players
Mhm.
will be black, and nobody wouldn't probably say anything.
And rightfully so.
And rightfully so,
Rightfully so.
without anybody saying that white players have been, subjected to
Right.
any injustice. I suppose again, if all the players are black and the captain's white,
Mhm.
then does that raise another question
Right.
in terms of, because I suppose Declan Rice probably will be England captain for the next 10 years.
Really?
Probably
Why?
will be. Because of,
I was going to ask, did you hear that? Tunde?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think very much so, where Harry Kane has got the captain's armband, and I feel Declan Rice will get it, and because he's captain of Arsenal, and because of the position that he's in, and I think because of the FA as well, I don't think it's anything that Declan Rice is doing himself, but I feel that the establishment would probably want a captain to reflect everyone and
Of the country.
so therefore I feel England would, even if they're going to have 7 or 8 black players, possibly in the next 2 to 3 years, I think Declan Rice will be England captain for the next 10 years. Yeah.
So with that said, thank you very much. With this little bit, I definitely want to say a great big shout out to Millie. Millie, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Millie, that you will get yours, and all the best for Arsenal, because I met Millie on Friday, which gives me a shout out to Eliana's family as well. Love there, and safe travel in every which way, and I do hope everything will work out for you there, Millie. You're listening to www.bbmcradio.com, where you can also get the app. And we're listening to Tunde Talks Football.
Yes.
Football. There we go.
Yes, you mentioned Arsenal. I was there with one of the young people at the Emirates to watch Arsenal women humble. Mash up Leicester City 7-0.
7-0.
Yes, it's 7-0. Yeah, man, it was all there. Yeah. It was brilliant for my young person. It was the first time at the Emirates to see 7 goals go, which was brilliant.
That's nice,
But
isn't it?
let's start, I was trying to say, but then that's the kind of like, then they play on the weekend, let's say play Chelsea, and you, oh gosh, because Chelsea are doing alright as well, after they've like been pumped 7-0. But you know what? Even though I lost the game, it was 3-1, so they managed to score goals, really chuffed for them there. But Leicester, they're going to be playing in what is being called the relegation playoffs, because they are part of the Women's Super League, and so they'll go to a playoff match between them and Charlton, who finished 3rd in WSL 2. So whoever wins that game will then either come up to the Women's Super League or remain. I think follow me?
I do. Relegation playoff.
Yeah.
Relegation promotion playoff is what it's called because either Leicester will get relegated or Charlton will get promoted. But that's the game.
Okay.
One match.
Yeah.
Right. Going to decide, and it's taking place at the Valley, which is Charlton's home ground, and I think that is the 23rd of May. So put that in your diary, check it out. That's what's happening.
Okay. Remember, you need pen and paper when you're here. So we've got 37 days to the World Cup, and then obviously just remember what's happening. And even with, I know we're going to get there in concerns to the finals and the FA Cup and things like that. Because I'm sure you told me. I know I've got it down.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll come back to you. I'm just going to tell you about what's happened in the WSL. And people, this is the time you can go and get your pen and paper, whatever you need to give me things written down on noted, yeah? So you've got the time to go away listening to what's happening in the WSL because, yeah, nothing over two is getting down to the nitty-gritty. West Ham, the women, they've had bubbles, they got a result 2-0 against Villa, well done, yeah? Man City, oh my gosh, they were playing Liverpool, yeah? Liverpool had a little bit of a trouble this season. And it looked like Liverpool was going to, like, hit the door. But in the 91st minute, Man City got their winner, so they won that 1-0. Spurs beat the London City Lionesses 2-1. Man United struggled a little bit. They might miss out on their European spot. I think they probably will do. And looking like they might win it, but in the 94th minute, Man United managed to get an equaliser, but they're struggling in the last part of the season.
It's really sounding like, just do not give up. With these goals that are coming in at these last moments, extra time, to some point of, just because time up doesn't mean that it's over. I'm really hearing some goals coming in at some times, which is like,
Play to the final whistle,
yes,
people.
Yes.
I'm saying there's a few games, key games. In fact, tomorrow, because Arsenal, like I said, that they've been playing in the Champions League, so they have a few fixtures they need to catch up on. So they're playing tomorrow. They're away to Brighton and Hove, alright, and then on Saturday they're away to Aston Villa, Saturday night, and on Wednesday the 13th they're at home to Everton. This is the women. This is what's happening. The season then, the final games of the season are on the 16th of May. So Arsenal play like Wednesday, Saturday. They need to, but they're determined, and you never know, they could end up kind of like sneaking in second spot or even winning the Super League. Although Man City look like they might still be able to hang on and do it and win it after how many years they haven't managed to do it. So it's still tight. There, people. So keep watching, keep listening, keep tuning in. Because every ball kicked is crucial now. Even more crucial when it's coming down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, that's the wild. Just a few games left of the season before we have the summer spot, which obviously leads to the World Cup. And I'm so looking forward to when we do obviously see and get our forms out. And I said my little, And which reminds me, must give us a nice little commemorative little pamphlet kind of thing, a little grid.
Yeah, we could do, and we'll do a little workshop chart, we'll do a 48 team review.
Yes, 48, that's exactly what we want to do.
No,
that's right.
I used to sing there were 32 in the bed and the little one said roll over.
Oh, so.
And they all rolled over and one fell out. Yeah.
Anyway.
Now I've got to be 48. That's quite long. It's quite long.
Did you hear what he said?
No,
He said he used to sing 32 in the bed and one,
32 in the bed and the little one said
roll over. So he will roll over and one fell out.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that. It reminded me of one that I did for camping, but we won't go there with that.
Yeah.
Right, so now people hopefully you're back now with your pens or your iPads or whatever it is you need to note down your thing here because
7:40 now.
We've got the Women's FA Cup semi-final happening on the 10th of May. That's on Sunday. You've got Liverpool against Brighton and Chelsea against Man City. That's the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay. So just letting people know that this thing here. Really Bright. Congratulations to Really Bright. Really Bright has hang up her boots, retired from football after 12 years. 314 appearances and 20 trophies at Chelsea. She's been Chelsea captain
lot.
Made their England debut in 2016, 88 caps, 6 goals and 1 Euro in 2022.
That's good.
That's really bright, hanging up her boots, so big up really bright. And I have to also big up a man by the name of Akil Howson, who was going to be the first black official to feature in the FA Cup final. As assistant referee, and this is the FA Cup final, the men's, which is on the 16th of May, and that will be between Chelsea and Man City.
Now, I want to put a pin in that. Can I put a pin in that? He is going to be the first
Black official
to feature in an FA Cup final, a men's FA Cup final.
So he's going to be on the lines.
What? Yeah.
Assistant ref.
He's one of the assistant refs. Yeah.
Now, saying that, obviously this is news and information that you have now, and I know it may seem like, duh, why is it such a big deal?
Because there's very few black officials up in the top flight.
Period. Yeah.
We don't often see them.
Basically,
Yeah.
we don't. And also, like, I'm just picking up here, also got a big up, 40-year-olds, the 14-year-old Ashley Young, I love that, this 40-year-old Ashley Young, who is now retired from playing football after 23 years. He started at Watford back in
Oh my gosh, Ashley.
2003 started back here, Ashley Young, man, so just a big up my guy there.
23 seasons.
The respect is due.
Oh my gosh, I must make a phone call.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. Yeah. But you know, for him to, for somebody to have a career 5 years long is an achievement.
Right.
So for him to be playing top flight football for 10 years,
Yes.
and then to be playing professional football for 23 seasons
And representative.
and representative, you know,
Yeah.
as someone who played for England,
Yes.
international,
Yes.
he's played World Cup winning Euros.
Just so the people know, he's played for Aston Villa, he played for Man United, he went across to Italy and played for Inter Milan, came back and played for Everton,
Yeah.
and he finished his career at Ipswich Town, you know.
And Ipswich had just been promoted to the Premiership.
That's fantastic. That's good. That's a good thing to leave, knowing
Yeah,
that
of
you've
course.
actually, brought the team up. Now, and if anything, that's a good time to leave.
That's a good time to leave,
And
yeah.
you've still got your body, your wits about you.
Yeah.
What are the opportunities that may be available to him at this point?
I think many,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Whatever he wants to do, put his mind to, I don't know whether he wants to stay within the game, within football, or to go to commentary channel, or even outside of football, but he's retiring from the game, and I'm hoping that I'm playing that he's already put what he wants to do in place, and not got to what we're going to do now. But you know what, even if that is the case, there's so many things that he can do now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good man there. Okay, alright then.
And it's important to have opportunities for retired black football players
Yes.
to go into management, coaching, if they want to be a physio or be a pundit or media. It's important that those doors are open. Sorry?
Don't we have enough pundits? Don't we have enough pundits?
Wait, what?
We don't, not really.
Just well-dressed pundits.
There's quite a few pundits
Right.
that are there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, Ian Wright and Micah Richards are the two black pundits who are black male pundits who are really in a high profile
Yes.
position.
Yes.
Alex Scott had a very, very high profile punditry position. There aren't any other, unless there's a name that's escaped me today. Yeah. Oh, Joby McAnuff. Joby, yeah. Went to school with my brother actually.
Still, when you put on the radio and you listen, or you put on the TV and you look, I would say there's still room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
There's room on the couch, most definitely. Okay, so let's we're at just past 7:44. We're gonna round up here with Tunde. A few more things that you've got to put out and let us know, Tunde.
Well, I just have to pick up the people who are listening who I know yet. Michelle, I'm with you, babe. I know I live at Liverpool Sunday, but they're still there, so hang on in there. D, listening, babe. I will soon be blown, yeah. Keep the faith. And let's say for you, Ali, I know the Spurs, I know it's a bit of a dilemma, but
Sorry.
My heart is sore because they're both my mates here.
Of
I know
course.
Tim's going to be struggling more at the end of the season, but you know, and big up Sarah as well, because Sarah was the one who sent me the text to say, hey, are you up tonight? I said, yes, I'm in on soon. And I got the call in me, I'm spending the New Year's.
Thank
I'm
you.
not going in the football world. So remember, people, in less than 15 minutes, Arsenal will be kicking off here in the semi-final. Second leg of the UEFA Champions League. They need to try and get into that
We'll
final.
be tracking the score here.
Will be.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much today. Of course, we're going to hear this and so much more with results and any news and other things which will be happening within the football world here on www.itsbbmcradio.com. We can also get the app. So, last words with you, Tunde. Just a few that goes.
Yes, also, you know what, right? I have to mention Sanka. The Sanka has now broken the WSL record at Chelsea because he has scored 64 goals, and I still think there's more to come. So congratulations to Sanka. People keep tuning into WSL and the Premier League. There's only a few games left. It's getting hotter and hotter. I don't know what's going to happen. Tristan turns, goals to be scored, red cards, injury time, things going to happen. There's going to be all kind of excitement. Don't blink, you'll miss it. Enjoy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Are you right there today?
Yes, man. Wicked.
Thank you very, very much. Love and love to all of your friends out there. That was nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Listen, people. Professor Johnson, take care.
Yeah, take care, Tunde.
Catch up with what we do.
I'll speak to
Yeah.
you soon. Okay.
Alright.
Bye.
Right.
Right. She's up there. Okay. You can hear what's on?
Okay.
I think she go from the spotlight.
Yeah.
I want to say a great big, well, congratulations in concerns of such a career like Ashley Young. I thought that was quite something.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know. 23 seasons as a professional footballer, it's not easy.
And also Millie, you know, after all that, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cats and everything else like that. She's a good footballer.
Okay.
And again, a shout out to Millie there. Thank you very much for lighting that spark. And I wanted to say another shout out to Chris, Mark, Jermaine, and Ian. Those are my Tottenham forever fans, as well as the Punjabis. Yeah.
The Punjabis, yeah.
I wonder how they're doing.
Yeah. I was thinking about those guys actually, you know, because they did invite us to we will be going.
Yeah, we're going.
We'll be going at some point.
And we'll let them know we're going to cricket as well.
Yeah, let them know, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we've got the lineups, so when we're ready, it's not kicked off yet, but we have the Atletico Madrid and the Arsenal the starting lineups who's actually going to start. So.
Okay, so we'll get into that in just a moment.
Yeah.
7:44, we've gone past that. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of a 7:44 moment before we speak to Mr. McIntosh, because you know Marian's agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't forgot about those of you, obviously, concerns the F1 results and other things that's happening. Here with Professor Dorn.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us, where are you on that time?
Well, there's a lot of things we might wish our girlfriends were, or people, not our girlfriends, but Anyway, that people might wish their girlfriends were
like whoever.
whoever, you
Yeah.
know. But however, let's just move on from that. And one of those girlfriends obviously might be Lewis Hamilton's, and you know, I know. Am I jealous? You know, it's much more a case of if there's anybody, there's anybody, and it's over now because you know
Yeah.
it's his private life. Everyone's entitled to their private life, what they do, how they go about it. And if anything, you know, I wish him all the best. And he wants a family, and etc. etc. I suppose it's just there's millions of us who just think, no. But however,
I think it's just it's one of those things, isn't it? It's there's always a part of me that doesn't want to see any potential successful sports person implode or fall apart and things like that. That's one side of it. I suppose we can't use certain quotation from Eddie Murphy Raw.
Yes. Yeah.
Where we're not allowed to use that language, you know. But he makes reference to being a celebrity in America, and he goes to Africa to get a female that is not knowledgeable about the West, what life is like in the West, you know. And he makes, for those of you who haven't seen Eddie Murphy Raw, I suppose they could get it for
That's the one with
reference.
the red jacket, isn't it?
Yeah. They could get it for reference to see that he's making light of the situation, but there are serious undertones
Definitely.
in what he's actually trying to say.
Coming to
If
America.
you get somebody who is not aware of certain things, and you've got somebody who is aware, and they know that okay, you can play basketball.
Sometimes you don't have to go that really.
Yeah. So it's
and that's I'm maybe speaking out of turn there, but however, the connotation is very much the same.
the connotation is very much the same, you know. So there is that element there where I suppose marriage is as much a partnership as it is an instinctive engagement.
Marriage is much a partnership as it is an
Instinctive engagement, and then as a partnership, people have got to know when Victoria married David Beckham, it wasn't just a physical encounter; it was transactional.
Yeah, it was. You were talking about entities and we're talking
Yeah,
about
things
business
like that.
and everything else. Like
And
that.
let's don't be fooled that she just thought, oh,
Yeah.
David looks nice. No, don't be fooled. She made a transactional decision. I'm not saying that to be disingenuous to her, but she naturally said, listen, he's good at football, he's good looking, he's a brand. I want to protect that.
And both ways.
And both ways.
And both
Let's
ways.
protect that. Let's
Yes.
not, the looks and the attraction is important,
Yeah.
but beyond that,
Yes.
there's that
Got a good thing
transaction.
going.
Yeah, we've got a good thing going. Yeah.
Okay, with that, I'm gonna, because I want to do a little 44 because before Mr. McIntosh last minute and
At 7:44.
yeah, we've gone past that now. We're kind of up to 7:50. But yeah, because we did with I
Yeah.
do this because, and I did play this in fact last week, but I thought we've got to, and why not?
Yeah.
It does help Sheda if you mention you've got the volume up.
This list
So this game I put Sheda, come on, let's
has
go
a
on.
little bit of domination in it. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Yas Marina. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Shanghai. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Johns Villeneuve. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Albert Park. Michael Schumacher 10 at Interlagos. Lewis Hamilton 11 at Spa. Lewis Hamilton 11 at Bahrain. Michael Schumacher 11 at Magny-Cours. Lewis Hamilton 12 at the Hungaroring. Lewis Hamilton 12 at Barcelona. Michael Schumacher 12 at Imola. Michael Schumacher 12 at Charles Villeneuve. Michael Schumacher 12 at Barcelona. Lewis Hamilton 15 at Silverstone. Just a tiny bit of domination from those two. If you're an F1 fan, then you need to hear a list of all the drivers with 10 plus podiums at the same circuits. This list has a little bit of domination in it. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Yas Marina. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Shanghai. Lewis Hamilton 10 at Johns Villeneuve.
Technology.
crazy right now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Any crazy sports people you can think of?
And it's crazy sports people can think
Just
of.
thought I'd ask.
Alex Hurricane Higgins.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Eric Cantona
Yeah.
with the Seagulls.
Yeah. That one. What's that? I
Yeah,
forgot about that. I forgot about that.
yeah. Although, you know, big up Eric, the Kung Fu the man.
Yeah. But mind you, he was protecting himself. He's French.
Of course,
He was protecting himself.
of course. Big up.
That's it, you know.
Maybe if we did Kung Fu a couple, man,
Hey,
maybe we wouldn't have this.
that Bruce Lee film was alright.
Yeah,
I've got to say that
yeah.
Bruce Lee film. It was just
You know.
Okay.
So we have a couple left field guys that are left field.
Okay. And then we've got the Bob Tyson. I mean, by the end of the year, that.
Yeah. It's a little bit left field, you know. A little bit left field might just win, you know.
Yeah, we just have a bit of that.
Yeah.
But to his own self-proclamation, he knows that he just wasn't right there. And it's good that he's come back. Same with Cantona's come back.
Of course.
You know, that wasn't right. And I hope that Tiger can come back and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just get the end of this and then we're going to speak to Mr. McIntosh.
Mm-hmm. We've got the starting 11 and we've got the score. 3 minutes to kick off. So I do the starting 11.
Is it?
The two teams coming out.
Okay, do you want to say that while I...
Yeah.
Okay, let me... Okay. So we've got the obviously the game that's happening. So give us a quick lineup of who's going to be where, just so that we know. So live on www. What's happening where? Professor.
So live at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal will be playing Atletico Madrid in the semi-final of the European Champions League. The first time Arsenal got into the semi-final was in 2006. They did score first against Barcelona, but they eventually lost the game, becoming runners-up. And this is the second time in Arsenal's history that they have a chance to get into the final of the European Champions League. Arsenal's starting lineup, this game will be at home at the Emirates. And in goal will be Raya. Back four will be White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. Midfielders, Declan Rice and Lewis Kelly. And then you're going to have Saka, Eze and Trossard in midfield with Gokareas going up front.
Okay.
And Atletico Madrid are playing a 4-4-2 formation with Oblak, Pubil, Lenormand, Hanko and Ruggieri playing in the back four. Simeone, Loriente, Koke and Lookman, dangerous man for Arsenal, playing in the back four. And then Anton Griezmann and Alvarez will be playing up front.
Okay.
So that completes the lineup for tonight's game.
That completes the lineup. Oh, okay. That completes the lineup for tonight's game. Okay, so we have, thank you very much, Professor, there.
Not at all.
And it's good to know who's happening what, because from time to time, if there's a goal, you're going to let us know.
If there's a goal, I will let you know.
But in the meantime, we're going to find out what the agenda is with Mr. McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, over to you. What? I don't know what I'm doing with the levels tonight. Okay, Sheda. Okay, get it right. There we go. We can hear you.
Yes, I said good evening to Sheda, to your listeners, and to your students, Professor Johnson. Good evening to everybody. Sheda, as you know, I don't go an agenda.
Okay.
You ask me about agenda, I always come and speak from
Your heart.
the heart.
Because it's your agenda. It's your agenda.
My agenda. As I'm articulating, things come up, and I go through my thing, and I don't like to set agendas. Anyhow, out of order, I'm sure you mentioned to my RIP, Mr. Zanardi.
Yes, but please put your what you'd like to say to that, please.
Well, to be quite frank, I think he had more accomplishment. He was a good driver. I would say he was the best Formula One driver. But he made a lot of his name after the accident and losing his limbs, where we
We talked about it before where he transformed himself into a Paralympian with the act cycles and various other things that he's done. So earlier he was given a mention at the last Grand Prix. But also it just goes to show you that you can do things with as we discussed before when you have disabilities. If you're a sporty person, you may have an ailment, an injury, you may lose a limb, maybe even more, but you can still do something competitive, make the adrenaline flow because he will be sadly missed by all his compatriots, but unfortunately his time had come. Just moving on swiftly, Sheda. The World Snooker Championships, I'll start off there. But I watched a fair bit of the snooker. Now, I've always said that sometimes sports have to look at innovative ways to maybe, draw the audience in, etc., or maybe certain rule changes. Now, in the semi-final, Mark Allen and the eventual winner of the tournament, the Chinese boy, whoever his name is, they played one of the longest ever frame in snooker history.
Really?
Yes, the longest ever frame in snooker history because for some reason all the red balls surrounded a particular pocket.
Right.
The black ball was right in between, so they were trying safety shots is not going to happen. They basically hours playing this one frame of snooker. Now, what's it might be intriguing to them? Is that really what people want to see? To sit there waiting for basically something to sort of happen. The referee even had words and said, well, somebody's going to do something because they could have been trying to do the same shot all now.
It's
Actually,
how many, is it 17, excuse me, is it 17 frames? How many, 23 frames? How many frames is it?
They do it, depends on what round you're in, they increase the number of frames.
Frames, yeah.
But they make sure it's got to be an odd number.
Yes.
So that you can actually
the
have a winner.
final I think was 17.
Yeah, the final 17. Yeah.
So, in answer to that question, I think if you're at frame like 3 or 4, and people pay their money.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. People pay their money and they want to see snooker at its best. And if it's like you just tackle and just and nobody really wants to give, but mind you, at that standard, it is a case of not giving, isn't it?
Well, hence is the word. That's the game, snooker.
Yes.
And you try to block the other person from hitting the ball at some stage. But the mere fact that maybe a rule or a time limit or the amount of shots will have to be introduced because you can't carry on because they delayed playing that particular set. The other table, because they went down to semi-final, they went to one table now. So the other players who were in the other semi-final, they were delayed because this match continued and continued and continued.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is this...
Mark Allen, who had in the semi-final, the same Mark Allen, he had the opportunity to win the game, which is so unusual where a player of that standard would miss the black on its spot.
Yeah.
To me, that was drama and that showed pressure.
Yes. Yes.
He had cleared the vast majority of the boards. All he had to do was to sink that black ball, and it wasn't at a difficult angle, but maybe the adrenaline and the rush in his mind. We always talk about the psychological part of sport. He went for the shot, and the ball didn't go in. Left it open for the young Chinese boy, and then Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that this is the second Chinese player to win the World Snooker Championship in a row, in consecutive years.
Do you really feel that it is now a world championship in concerns to it is encompassing? Obviously, we haven't got all 100 and something countries, but it's much more encompassing than just England, Scotland, Wales, and maybe a Germany and a Scottish, and a Welsh, and you know.
Well, so there's been Australians, there's been Canadians, and so last year a guy from, not last year, sorry, a few years ago, I think a guy from Malta.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
And there was a guy from, believe it or not, I think it was Iran.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. So, having said that, a lot of these guys actually, even the world champion, they live and reside in England because it's the mecca of sort of snooker. But the good thing for the sport is the fact that this Chinese youngster has won it.
Yes.
You look at the population of people in China
Yes.
who are now, they must, the Chinese are glued to their TV watching their compatriot in the world snooker, the revenues that can now be generated, the impact of the game, etc. in China. Hence, again, I was saying that people want entertainment. They don't want a long, drawing, sort of boring match. I mean, they still get house tried it where they now sort of play a speed orientated. So you have to take your shot within a certain amount of time, and there's a clock beeping down if you don't take that shot.
Okay.
So they're trying different sorts of methods to try and make the game more attractive, make the game open. But the actual world championships and the big championships are still going to be played in the same format.
With that kind of timed atmosphere, does that mean that there may be a breakaway kind of league like we get with T20 with the cricket? Kind of, in other words,
as you say that, it had sort of occurred before with, I think it was Barry Hearn or whatever, was trying to break away from the main sort of snookering body. But I think, they've re-merged and so on and so forth, because when you look at it, is there really the market there for, breakaway? Not saying that somebody might come up with a concept and that's it. If you look at pool, for example, the type of pool that we play in this country is different to what they play in America.
Billiards. Even though they call it.
I'm talking about pool, because they play, in England, our standard pool is red and yellow balls, and then you go on the black in the end. But in America, they have the numbers on the balls, and you got to.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, it's got this complicated game. So it just goes to show you that they have different versions, and people have tried different things in order to attract different people. So that's my thing in terms of the snooker. And I sort of segue into what a question you had posed for me, because you were talking about Mr. Antonelli.
Yes.
And him being the youngest to do this, the youngest to do that in terms of Formula One. Well, the winner of the Snooker World Championships, in fact, he was not the youngest. Stephen Hendry won it at the age of 21.
Stephen Hendry,
he's the second youngest person to have won the World Snooker Championship. And it opens the discussion that it's not necessarily, people always say about experience, etc., but they're all cliche. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And that applies in a lot of sports. I wouldn't say it applies in every single sport. But it applies in a lot of sports. So you're going down the line, you look at the likes of Mike Tyson.
Yes, he was very young.
The youngest heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you go in terms of, I was looking in terms of sport the other day, football, when that young fella from Arsenal.
Alex Darman.
Yes.
Alex Darman, yeah.
Scored, yes.
I was trying to bust my brain in terms of, was he the youngest? But then I think back where I remember Wayne Rooney.
Yes, Wayne Rooney was. But wasn't Wayne Rooney the youngest to be for England?
No, Wayne was the youngest to score a goal in a Premiership,
Okay.
I think.
And then you had remember Theo Walcott?
Yeah, youngest to score a hat-trick.
Is that football?
Was a very young sort of protege. One of the downsides of a lot of these guys when they are at a young age is that they become vulnerable to other things. Remember, sometimes they are young adolescents.
Yes.
Some of them haven't fully matured physically and psychologically and mentally. And
Yes.
sometimes you put all these pressures on these the youngsters, and a lot of them can't cope with this sudden adoration and all the other
It's a
things
lot.
that come with it.
It is a lot.
Football, for example, has destroyed a lot of, we talked about this before, football has destroyed a lot of young, precocious young talents.
I think also the mentality of thinking, I've got to do this is my life, this is what I'm going to do, rather than realising that, okay, this is an opportunity, but if you don't, not so much if you don't get this, injury is one of the main things that I...
Injury, yes, Sheda, but remember, these guys and sometimes nowadays, these girls, it's, you're in an adolescent stage, you're growing up. Max Down, whatever his name is, I hope he has that sort of grounding, and that he has people behind him, because people will be behind you. Look what's happened, we talked about it before, look what's happened to Emma Raducanu.
Yes.
You can say her career has gone backwards since winning the US Open. I hope the same thing doesn't happen to my mate Luke Littler.
Yes.
Because, you're a young person, there'll be partners or females throwing themselves at you, males throwing themselves at you, and all these things. People are going to offer you X, Y, and Z, and so on and so forth. And sometimes your head starts to swell.
Who and what can you trust and everything else like that. So, and
of course.
But these days they do put certain management things to help you, to help the youngster, I think, manage their money. Agents. And, not to say that they themselves have their best intentions at heart, because when I think of Don King, I remember when, it's not so much of a movie, but just how his intention to, you're there to make the best for yourself.
But some of these people manipulate these young people.
Yes.
And sometimes the people that you put your faith and your trust in, they're the ones who are basically ripping you off.
I think that's true.
So, yes, for example, in football, they put a lot of things in place to try to help these youngsters. Because, you're throwing in the lion's den, so all of a sudden, in your little apprentice wages, you're now on 30, 40 grand a week.
Yes.
People are falling at their feet at you. Doors that were once closed are open for you because you're X, Y, and Z. I'm telling you, for example, if Bauman, who is 16 or whatever, if he went to a nightclub and stood at the bar and wanted a drink, he would get served because he's Max Bauman. What's going on? I'm just using that as an example.
Of course.
And he said about Don King. Look what happened to Mike Tyson.
Yes.
If he had the right people behind him, maybe he would not have ended up in a situation where he has to go and fight at the age of 50.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a lot of other young people who come to the fore, and you say, we're the youngest one champion, the youngest person to have competed in X, Y, and Z.
Gymnastics.
Now you're thinking, what's happened to them? Where are they?
Yes. That does matter.
And we talked about her before, Marion Jones, and if you remember, the great American sprinter. I would say she was the youngest, but she came into the sport at a relatively young age. And, now she can hardly walk because of drug taking and 7-time in prison, etc.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember it. Yes.
Yeah,
Now
right,
that you-
yeah.
And it's circumstances like that which befall an individual. You think of the opportunities, and unfortunately, if the choices that are taken on the advice sometimes of others.
Well, exactly. That's why I say you need a support mechanisms to be put in place to help and assist these young people. And I said, going back to football, I remember this, and I'm using that as an example before. John Bostock, he was playing for I think his first club was Crystal Palace. I don't know if Professor Johnson would remember.
John Bostock.
Yeah, John Bostock, yeah.
At the age of 15 or something like that, he got transferred to Tottenham Hotspur for £1 million or something. Everybody was saying, this is going to be a new blah blah blah. You look at it now. There was another precocious youngster at Man United, Ravel Morrison.
Yeah.
Fantastic footballer, but at the time they didn't realize that Ravel may have been on the spectrum. Fantastic footballer, but he had some issues, and he started off really young. I'm trying to go through my sort of vocabulary and look
Jermaine Pennant.
Young tennis players, we said Ravi Khan, but they weren't the youngest. I don't think who was the youngest player to win
Wimbledon.
There was who really won it really young again, who didn't have that illustrious career. Gabriele Sabatini
Gabriele Sabatini again.
was a really young at 17.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very young.
Jennifer Capriati.
Jennifer Capriati, yeah.
And against mental issues, psychological issues and stuff because they were so young. So yes, a lot of sports, your age can be a benefit, but it can also be, to your detriment. Some sports have a sort of a limit to age limit as to when you can compete as a senior or you have to compete as a junior. Sometimes we might think, well, no, why? Let's push them forward, but are we doing it for the right reasons or are we doing it for selfish reasons?
Yes.
No matter what, I was looking at, although I don't like to talk too much about American sports, and sometimes you see through their college system whereby, especially basketball,
It's that time now.
Yes.
The draft.
and they have all these young guys.
Yeah.
Not even so much in terms of the draft. I'm saying they reckon they are spotted at the age of 13 and 14 in high school.
Yeah.
And then these people come around and say, well, if you come up to this college, we're going to give you X, Y, and Z. They give the parents money and so on and so forth. And then when you say about the draft, you don't hear about them again because you don't get mentioned in the draft. And then all of a sudden,
I think sport is, I think, one of the great examples, or an example that is used amongst, I'm going to say my people, put the leg out there, for an opportunity to get out of, get a leg up, or change one's life in concerns to the income, obviously, which is what it is, and that of the standards of you and your family. In America, it's kind of born that way. In other words, it's not so much the education, but through the education, part of it's education, part of it is sport. We want this, you want that, so this is the deal. And that's what's brought about. And it's the same here with football in the same way, or any sports in some way.
Yeah, of course.
it's always been that. And if you go back to the days of the gladiators, for example, gladiator Roman times, or
Well,
whatever,
ex-slaves. A lot of them were
being a
ex-slaves.
gladiator, killing people was a means of getting out because you could get your freedom. If you go back to the days of slavery, remember them had dingoes who they used to fight.
Right,
That was a means of getting extra food, getting blah blah blah, getting extra women, etc. Because you were put in the sporting arena. So sports has always been a way of means of
currency.
Yeah, of
well,
course.
currency, you want to put in those sort of words as currency. But I'll say, if any of you think of any persons who achieved at a very young age in different sports, then please feel free to chime in. I know we have a very young...
Jermaine Pennant gave a really good interview. Jermaine Pennant gave a really good interview about when he was 15 and he was training with the first team, and Arsene Wenger played him at 16, and he said that he didn't have the right company around him. It got to his head, and he did go out drinking, thinking that he assumed that I'm in the first team squad, but I'm never going to start with Henry and Perez and those guys. And then he went out drinking. He was absolutely hammered, and he was on the bench. And Arsene Wenger said, "Son, you're starting." And he said, "Are you sure?" And he started, and he actually scored a hat-trick.
Wow.
And people talking about he's going to be the next England, this, that, the other. And if you watch the interview in the podcast, he said, "I couldn't wait to get off the pitch."
Right.
I actually couldn't wait to get off.
It was that.
Yeah. And he got into a thing of drinking, and he used to go out and drink all the time, and got into a whole load of nonsense with people and yeah, and he started doing all kind of he did go out drinking with a couple of players, and he did go out drinking with some Tottenham players, and he did one time, he was so drunk that when the police put him over, he told the police that his name was Jermaine Defoe.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And they pulled him into the station. Yeah.
Especially in football, you
Yeah.
always get them stories.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
as I said, they talents, these young guys.
yeah,
If you look at the likes of Lionel Messi, probably the greatest footballer that's played the game, in some people's eyes. He was at the academy in Barcelona from the age of about 6 or 7. You know? So you can imagine at that age you were already headhunted, you're already, seen as the next, next coming of the next resurrection. And
yeah,
the pressures that's put not only on yourself, but also on your family. And I go back to it again. The physical aspect's fantastic. You've got the talent, fantastic. But have you got the mental strength?
Oh, no,
Psychological strength.
All the family put that on you.
Nile Ranger.
Nile Ranger.
Yeah, Nile Ranger from Tottenham. If you watch his podcast, I'm telling you, if you see the things that he'd done, he right up until even before he was 21, he got into so much things. He was at the Southampton Academy. He stole a whole load of football kit, right? And they caught him. They released him. He got spotted by Kevin Keegan, who was playing for Southgate College, the academy football against another team, and the Southampton wanted him to go back and train.
Right.
He stole a whole heap of kit. He got kicked off the team. He played a game. Kevin Keegan spotted him and says, "Yeah, that kid, the black kid with the dreads, I want him. He's brilliant."
Right.
And he picked him. He was playing for Newcastle United, and he got involved in so many things.
Right.
And his podcast is like Car Crash TV,
Right.
where behind the scenes, pretty much like how Jermaine Pennant said, I knew I was finished, because even though I scored a hat trick and people was talking about me, at half time, physically, I was so wrecked because I shouldn't have gone out and drunk. And it was as if it kind of like self-fulfilling kind of prophecy, and he just went down the road and went off the rails
From there on.
from there on.
Sounds like self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage thing. And with No Ranger, he talks so much about it. Yeah.
Everybody wants their players essentially to be success. Coming back to Mr. Antonelli, I
Yeah.
hope that he keeps his feet on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that he's the new, people always come out with that and say, people should say, no, I'm not the new Lewis Hamilton, or I'm not the new X, Y, Z, I am the.
Yes.
I think he's
Yes.
good with that. Yeah, I'd like to think he's good with that in terms of just how
Well,
he's.
only he's got his parents and so on around
Yes.
him, but again, things change because, he's now leading the world championships. He's seen as a prospective world champion. Things change, and I said he offers what do they call it, the ladies and so on, throwing themselves at all these things.
He's only 18.
After, I think,
Yeah. That don't really make much difference. That makes him even more of a target.
they have to be, all the sports science to do, and nobody to themselves up. Yeah, I want to move on, Sheda.
Yes,
I'm going to go on talking about I was glued to watching the World Relay Championships.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I went to athletics championships, and you know what fascinated me or made me feel a lot, I was just invigorated, was the fact that this was held in Botswana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's reasons why, but the enthusiasm, the vibrancy of
The-
the crowd in the stadium on the 2 days of the World Relay Championships.
World Relay Championships.
Yes.
So it opened my eyes to say, well, Africa could now start, not the usual Nigeria or South Africa, but some of these other upcoming can
Yeah.
never start to, you know, compete or get things on the international scale.
Yeah, of course.
Because the lovely stadium, you know, here, Botswana, people think, we're a little way. But that was a refreshing thing for me to actually.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And for the atmosphere, you know, people
Oh,
being
wow.
obviously cheering their home team.
Mm-hmm.
Just to come to the thing, I'll give it the 4 by 400 meters. Botswana are the reigning world champions, yeah?
Yes.
In 4 by 400 meter relay, and they won the world reigning world 400 meter champion. Now, I don't know if you watched it in the qualifying heats, the world champion Kevin what his name is, I can't even pronounce his name. Anyhow, he got so embroiled in the crowd. Yeah? He wasn't concentrating on what he was supposed to be doing.
Oh dear.
He started showboating.
Oh dear.
And Botswana nearly, I use the word, they nearly failed to qualify. They actually came second in their heat.
Which makes me think, how far ahead was he that he was able to show
He
those?
wasn't far ahead. He came with about 100 meters to go, cruised past the guy, and before he had got to the finish line, he was looking at the guy, making gestures, etc.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, the outward-going athlete forgot what he was supposed to do, and they barely dropped the bat. The bat anyhow, they qualified for
The finals.
and they actually won the 4 by 4, right? However, and I use the word however for those who didn't watch it, in the last leg, the South African runner called Pele,
Mm-hmm.
he ran the second fastest ever 400 meter sprint in a 4 by 4. He ran, I think, was a ridiculous 42 something in terms of time. He actually ran faster than the world record, but because you're doing it from a standing start.
Yes.
The only person to ever run faster than him was the great Michael Johnson.
Oh wow.
Yeah?
Came back
And
shit.
South Africa gave Botswana a run for their money.
Yes.
So African athletics is, you know, on the rise. The US,
I would love to watch that.
but it's usually the USA and Jamaica.
Yes.
A lot of these relays.
Yeah.
But not in this particular 4 by 4. Now, in some of the other races I was watching, the Jamaican, because they have mixed races as well. The Jamaican 4 by 100 meter mixed relay team, they won that relay, the 4 by 100, in a sort of world record time. And then the nice thing about it is that they had twins.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, the Clayton
They had Clayton twin. One started the race and one was in the middle. So they had the two Clayton girls running in the 4 by 100. Jamaica also, they also won the 4 by 100, standard race, women's race. And they had Elaine Thompson-Herah, who she's the second fastest woman in history, right? The only person ever faster than her was now, I would use the word, seemingly discredited Flojo.
You know, that's exactly what I thought of when you said that. When you were going to say the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's questions over Flojo. She was never tested as positive, but there are still questions. You know, lovely athlete, but with some. Sorry, go on.
No, and thank you. Is the question because it's so fast that it's like it couldn't be? It's like
No,
or is it a case of no one could run that fast? Or no one could run.
I think it was her appearance as well.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because she brought style.
Mr. Johnson was quite correct.
Yeah.
The time she ran was unheard of in terms of a woman at that time. You know what I mean?
Well, she had a whole other style
So you
going
were
on.
running your
Fingers, nails, legs, everything.
everything.
Yes, and she looking good.
In the transformation, because
Yeah.
Flojo, prior to coming out, was just, an ordinary, she was alright, but she wasn't a world beater.
Mhm.
And it was, space of a year or so, she came back and her whole physical appearance had changed. And I think that's what got a lot of people talking. Some people might say she did it through training, nutrition, and blah, blah, blah. But there's always been questions because, and as you say, when you start, your body appearance changes and you start running that kind of diet, people will look. Yeah, Elaine Thompson era had run for a few years. And she competed for, she come out from injury for the last couple of years and she competed in the world relay.
Another
And
prodigy.
she got the battle in second place. She cruised past. But with about 15 sort of meters to go, she started to feel a little twitch. And you could actually see her hamstring. And you could actually see
A little hop.
a little tick taking place. So, but Jamaica won that. The American men won the 4x1. Great Britain managed to get one bronze medal in the mixed 4x4. That was.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's quite something if you think.
The British men traditionally do well in the 4x1, but they messed up the back change.
Okay.
And so they didn't make the final. Again, what's for me good for athletics was the fact that Norway, of all countries, won the women's 4x4.
Okay.
You know, you normally think of America, Great Britain,
Jamaica, yes.
the Russians, you know, these big countries, but for Norway to win the women's 4x4, again, is a kind of eye-opener. But
Well, the Chinese, did the Chinese come up? Did the Chinese come up in anywhere? Because they've
The
been.
Chinese were there, they competed reasonably well, they didn't win anything. It was only like, in terms of, you got the 4x1s, the mix, so that's 4, sorry.
Right.
4x4, that's another. So basically 10 medals, 10 events with 30 medals for gold, silver, and bronze. So Chinese didn't get anything, although they competed admirably in terms of thing. And it's nice to see countries that, you know they're not going to win, but they had the opportunity to
But in it to win it, you know. I must say.
If they were driving Antonelli's car, they would know.
I don't know, but it's like saying Italy in rugby. You know, I mean, there was a time when it's like, well, you know, I don't know why they can't turn up, but hey, you know. Well, that's why they qualify. And you know, in this, I'm like, gee, they got space. Okay, and why not? Because I'm thinking, wow, the relay world championships. That's exciting, especially as you say, Botswana.
I think the next one is, and also to give some of these teams, if they made the top 6 or whatever, they would automatically qualify for the World Championships next year.
Okay.
Which is going to be held in Beijing, Standard World Championship. So, you know, a lot of the teams had things to aim for, not just the winning medals. The qualification for the World Championships was also a factor. But again, I go back to the fact that it was held in Botswana. They got a lovely stadium and a lovely facility, and it was nice to see an African country being able to stage something along those lines. So, you know,
Keep an eye on that, definitely.
I know Rwanda is now bidding for various things. So
Yeah, I want to come.
Who knows? So that was it in terms of my sort of sporting viewing for the weekend.
Thank you.
Just sort of like to finish off and say, my old brethren, so Alex was taken ill over the weekend.
Was it?
So Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But I don't know how serious it was. They said it was nothing serious, but you know when people reach them sort of short ages,
He's not as active as he used to be from that point of view.
No.
Or busy.
things that happen. he transitioned from football management to be a quite successful horse racehorse owner.
Yes.
So let's wish him the best anyway.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's done a lot for football. So I'm going to leave it with there, Sheda, for this week, and hopefully, if you want to chime in anything, but there was definitely no agenda. I just talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
Well, it's your agenda. That's what I say. It's your agenda, and I'd like to thank you very much. Even though there are times I put a little ask in concerns, because I know you know yourself and the professor. I know you know, so educate me and all the listeners. And thank you very much, Mr. McIntosh.
Thank you, Professor Johnson, and
Yes.
hope to see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Always something new.
Always. Elaine Thompson, I'm sure she ran boys champs and made the Jamaica Athletics squad at 19.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she did. So again, we're talking about prodigies and young sporting
That come through and that make
come
a
through,
difference.
and thankfully at 32, she's managed to come back. But again, with so many things happening, there were issues with her husband, and leaving the training camp that she was in with
Emma.
Elaine Thompson, leaving
Okay.
the training camp that she was in with Sharika Jackson
Oh
and,
yes,
yeah,
yes. I heard about this.
and and Sheda Fraser, yeah.
Mm.
So again, it's one of them things where she was supposed to, she really was supposed to win that World Championships, not the one that Sharika Jackson, that Shakira Richardson won the one previously. And she ran a bad race, and she mistimed the transition. And you can see when she came out the blocks into the transition, she stumbled,
Yes, that's what.
and she didn't. And I think from there till now, and then she had an injury. And in terms of the whole rehabilitation thing, when she got injured, there was a lot of issues with her husband and the coaching team, Stephen France and things like that, where there's issues as to whether or not her husband having more involvement in her management, if that was the right decision or not. I'm grateful that she's 30, 32 now, so she's back in athletics and she's running. So whether or not she can actually win gold in World Championships or the next Olympics, we'll see. We don't know, but again, you do have those when people are child prodigies and they've got the talent, but that doesn't necessarily transition into what is what could have been.
How are we with the score? I see zeros.
Yeah, it is zeros at the moment.
I see zeros.
There was famous comment from Jose Mourinho when he gave a press conference, and he says that as a team they didn't come to play. They take the bus. They take the bus and they put the bus in front of the goal.
Oh dear.
And they don't try to score. They park the bus and they play boring football.
And we don't want boring football.
No, we don't.
We don't want boring football.
We don't know if they're parking the bus, but it is 0-0. 40 minutes on the clock.
Yes, we see, and still.
And there isn't any
No.
dynamic thing happening. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, well, we'll just leave it at that. We'll see.
So let's have a little bit of this, and which is what I'm going to put some. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Come on, get it right. Stop it. Oh, here we go. It's 8:40. It's Sheda here with Professor Johnson. We have just been speaking to lovely Mr. McIntosh with his agenda, because I tell you that's what it is. But we brought up some lovely subjects there.
Definitely.
And when I think of the sports persons in concerns to coming onto that stage, that arena at such a young age, and the development of the mind, the body, and everything else like that, it's we've got to look after it.
We have to look after them, and we do have, as Mr. McIntosh has said, we do have some really well organized and well sophisticated sports management teams out there, but are they sophisticated from the perspective of having really trying to streamline and develop the marketing angle for lucratively getting the most out of the athlete,
Yes.
or are they really looking? Yeah,
This is a commodity.
there's a commodity. Yeah. And let's not try to. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm not accusing anyone of behaving in an inappropriate manner. But let's face it, that a lot of these management companies, they really are. Their job is really to financially get the most out of the athlete, out of the person. So if they don't, yeah.
Okay, let's finish up with the still this, and we're going to come back with some more F1. I don't play these tunes, but let's do the scores. I want to do the scores. What was that? Yeah. We all need a little bit of that. That's all right, guys. Okay, that kind of show. Heels rough, and we're going with it. So what I want to do right now. Was that a smile and a bit of laughter there?
The heels are off. I mean, going for it. Yeah.
And that is, I want to let you know what the scores, not the scores, what the standings are with the drivers. I'm talking about the F1 drivers.
Yeah.
So we have, leading the championship at this time with 100 points is Kimi Antonelli. 100 points, which is good. We're only talking at 4 races, 1, 2, 3, 4. And obviously we've got 2 races out of that, but that's where we are. Then we've got George Russell, he's 80 points. So, I mean, obviously, you know, with the sprint, remember sprints mean, you know, more points because you get 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it did make a difference. The gap was a lot smaller, but with Anthony winning the Miami Grand Prix, that's obviously made quite a difference because you get 25 points and obviously George came through. Then we got Leclerc. Now Leclerc comes in with 59. Then we've got Lando Norris. Now he's defending champion, 51. And who is alongside Lando Norris? But with the same 51 points, that's Lewis Hamilton. Now, last season it kind of hurt me because I've never seen him just gain so many. He hardly got anything. He really, I mean, he ended up with, you know, he was down the road. You know, I think he ended up fifth in the championship actually last year, which was if that. At the moment he's 5th, and in fact there was a statistic that said when you have got your championship the following year, and it's proved by quite a few drivers who come back and end up, you know, coming up 5th. And then 6th at the current time with 43 points, we've got Oscar Piastri. And then Max Verstappen is at 26 points, coming in 7th for the current time. So that's where he is.
Yeah. I do need to get back to my childhood and start watching more racing again. I definitely do. We do need to do a race like
Well, there's many things we can do and where we can go. In fact, I went karting some months ago, and I do have a ticket to go back, so we can sort that out at some stage.
Okay.
And then there's Goodwood, there's this and that, and also there's quite a few places. Obviously, there's the F1 Cafe.
I think we're definitely going to stream live the Women's Cricket World Cup, which is this summer.
Okay.
We will be streaming live at one of the games.
We'll be.
Potentially be streaming live
Well,
at two.
because to get there and come back could be
Yeah. Well, the England West Indies game is on the Wednesday. It's the semi-final. The semi-finals on the Tuesday afternoon.
Because they've started.
They haven't started yet. No, it's
What
June.
do I know? Yeah,
They
okay.
start in June.
Okay, started.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue with the standings. So we've got Max Verstappen, 26 points. I mean, that's a big difference from 100 when there were times, and obviously, at this time, with 4 races, 1, 2, 3, 4, he could have been ahead of 200 points plus that, if you think of what his previous standings would have been when he was just winning every race. But times have changed right now, so we've got Oliver Behrman. Congratulations, Oliver Behrman has team, and he's there with 17 points. Then we've got Pierre Gasly from Alpine. I said they've been doing quite well. Now Pierre Gasly is 16 points there, which comes in 9th. Liam, come on, Mr. Lawson, our man from New Zealand, he's there with 10 points. And then we go into the single figures for the rest of the crew.
Can I interrupt you with
Oh, is there a goal?
There is a goal.
There's a goal.
Bukayo Saka scored 44 minutes. Arsenal are 1-0 up.
Arsenal are 1-0 up. 1-0
against
up. Okay.
Atletico Madrid.
You know, that must be some noise there.
Must be some noise.
So if it's 4-2,
It's now half time. It's officially half time.
Half time.
The referee's blown the whistle.
Okay.
So
Enough
Arsenal 1-0 up. Bukayo Saka scoring in 44 minutes.
That's a good thing place to be.
Arsenal have one football boot stud in the final
in the final so far.
so far.
So let's see. So
Let's see.
That's good.
45 minutes left.
So so it's one, and you heard it here first on www.bbmcradio.com. We can also get that. Right. So we're going into single figures now. I'm just saying that Liam Lawson, he's the New Zealander. He is with Racing Bulls. Remember, there's Racing Bulls and there's Red Bull Racing, so to speak. And Liam Lawson, who was Max Verstappen's racing partner last season, but it didn't all go rosy, so it went peachy and then it went down. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So then Franco Colapinto, he is now in the championship with 7 points. This could all change. Then we've got Arvid Lindblad. I like Arvid Lindblad, you know. Mind you, Bortoletto, he's showing signs of liking this at the moment too. So Arvid Lindblad, Great Britain, also for Racing Bulls, got 4 points, but he needs to get it together. Now Isaac Hadjar, yeah, I've got a spot for Isaac Hadjar. I'm really hoping that he can get his championship. One of these years, Isaac Hadjar is just going to be world champion. I put that. I don't know what year it's going to be, but it's going to happen. For France, also with Red Racing Bulls, which he's obviously partnering Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen there at 26 points, and then you've got your partner with 4. Come on, Isaac. Come on. Come on, Isaac.
Come on, Isaac.
So then we've got Carlos Sainz, our Spanish fan, then Williams 4 points, Gabriel Bortoletto, as I said, nice haircut. Brazilian, Audi. Now Audi, we're not really expecting anything from them this season. They've kind of said that this season is just their practice run. So he's there with 2, and then we've got Esteban. He's a 16th driver on the grid, and he's got 1 point. Okay, just the one, just the point. Just the point. So that's what's happening. Well, I'm here dancing in the chair. So with that, then we've got Nico Hulkenberg. Now the the next few drivers from 18 down to 22, they're nil point. So Nicole Hulkenberg, Audi, no points. Valtteri Bottas, Cadillac, no points. Sergio Perez, Cadillac also nil point. And then we've got Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll from Aston Martin, also nil point. So hopefully, I'm sure, we've got Canada, next Canada's nice, got lovely trees.
Yeah.
It's just nice, it's scenic, and I like to see,
Yeah.
some of the pictures that are taken. I mean, it sounds very kind of like nature, in other words, it just looks nice. There are some circuits which you expect certain things. There's this part where they go up and all the time, they go up on this incline, and you can just, I just think it's sexy. Okay, right, before
Yeah.
that's sexy. Okay, let's just have some music.
Let's have some more music.
There's certain music when you do certain things too. You just kind of, you wait for it to come and then you just do the.
Yeah.
So that's.
Toots in the males, 54.46.
Say that again, please.
Toots in the males, 54.46 was my number.
Oh, okay.
I do a little. Yeah. I do a little mug shot.
Okay.
If I've had too many sherbets as well,
Okay.
I tend to do a little mug shot. I find a piece of carrot or something like side profile, left profile.
Mine always just a little.
Yeah. And I pretend to do my fingerprints.
Okay. Okay. The whole thing going on there.
Yeah.
Now, what I wanted to say.
For those probably, with some people, I will explain. I will have to play and I will explain
Right.
at some point.
Of course.
Because
Exactly.
Toots Ibbott was arrested and he was supposed to go on his first tour with Treasure Isle and he got arrested. And he was supposed to come on a tour with England with Desmond Decker and he got arrested for possession of marijuana and he was in prison, so he missed the tour. So that inspired 54.46 was my number.
Was my number. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And great tune.
Great tune.
What I wanted to talk about, or what I was going to say, that it didn't happen last week from the point of view, to go over exactly what the contract is for the current drivers in concern to see we're aware that Lando Norris he's got a multi-year deal.
Yeah.
And what that actually means. And so has Oscar Piastri, they've got multi-year deals.
Yeah.
And it's important to know as we go through the season what kind of deals the drivers are on. So I'm just going to go over with a few. So McLaren, who are not leading the championship at the moment, because obviously Mercedes are. So with their drivers, they've got theirs on a multi-year deal, which is Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, which means in some respect every year they kind of have to see what's happening and how it's going to change. So Norris is contesting his he's in his 8th season in F1, and that McLaren specifically, with both the driver and the team staying loyal to each other. So really, it's a case of, I'll stay with you if you stay with me. His deal runs until at least the end of 2026, but it's understood to be no longer with potential breaks or otherwise clauses. So we'll see what will happen with him. For Mercedes, got George Russell. Now his contract ends this year, 2026. So that's really going to be a good conversation there. Whereas Antonelli is also 2026, but I think he might have a bit more leverage. So we'll see what kind of leverage these drivers have depending on what they can. Red Bull, now I find this quite interesting. Max Verstappen, his contract is in 2028.
Yeah.
So he's talking of, he still holds a contract with Red Bull through to 2028, although there is believed that to be performance based. So if they get good results, he'll stay. If they're not good results, he's leaving the pack.
Right.
And even though, remember that his engineer is leaving the pack. His engineer is actually leaving to go to McLaren.
Yeah.
McLaren, so he's thinking of going to Liberty. Now I'm quite surprised, unfortunately Hajar, who's also with Red Bull, who got his contract last year, Had our own promotion to Red Bull from Red Bull Racing for the 2020 season after his impressive rookie term, I apologize, with Racing Bulls. So we're going to see what's going to happen, but his current contract is until the end of 2026. So that's those 1, 2, 3 teams there in concerns to just what their drivers are doing for McLaren, Mercedes, and also for Red Bull. We'll talk about Ferrari and the others another time. So
Yeah.
let's have a little bit more on this. That just might be how it feels when you've got a contract that ends at the end of the year.
Might just be.
We are moments, actually not so much moments, a few moments up until the hour of 9 o'clock. We're here and with Professor. Professor, how are you feeling? What's been your highlight of sports for the week?
I would say Mr. Lewis winning that Super Championship. You know, young man coming from China, kind of opening that doorway that potentially might be, and I don't, this is not a derogatory statement, but I think there's potential to be an avalanche of really exciting, talented Chinese players that might potentially dominate the game for the next 10 years. So I think that's excellent.
This is a great segue. You can hear me shuffle. I was looking at a movie last night.
Mhm.
And the movie that I was looking at was titled Be Water. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. The year of distribution was 2020. It's 1 hour to 1.5, and it's a documentary about Bruce Lee. No, in fact, it was a bit longer than that, about an hour 45, and just really learning so much more about him. Where he was born, born 1940, November 27th. 1971, his parents returned to homeland, that's Hong Kong, and just how the Chinese were treated, what they were thought of at that time, and just the whole political realm of it, what he introduced, why he became a kung fu artist, what it brought about, the fact that he did audition, in other words, he did a screen test for Hollywood. Hollywood said, or in other words, you know what? Well, in fact, they gave him Kato.
Yes.
And I didn't realise that it was Bruce Lee that actually first performed Kato.
Yeah.
And in looking at that, because obviously it really was about him, he was just driving. The guy in the back was, you know, what I'm there for. You know, from the point of view of actually watching, you know, he was the sidekick.
Yes.
He was the sidekick. But it became quite clear that it began something which could have been more. And quite right, he didn't want to be pigeonholed.
Yes.
So left and decided to go and do the 4 films in China.
Yeah.
And with after being rejected, complete the 4 films, the big boss. I didn't also know that he was a child movie star.
Yeah.
His father, in fact, was an operatic performer, and his mother came from money, so to speak. And with that made a big difference there. So with these movies, well, there was just so much more, and his goal to actually show the Chinese culture in its best light, which is one of the reasons why he met his wife, Linda, who was a white woman from that point of view, and which were created, obviously, we're talking about America in the 60s now, the cultural differences, just to be accepted at that time, and as I mentioned the Green Hornet beforehand, influence, the power of that, exploring what he had and what he was actually teaching. And I think I wrote down the name of the school. I must have written the name of the school. And I also thought he was a good actor. I thought that he was a good actor by what I saw. The Game of Death, Yellow. Oh, and the yellow tracksuit. Remember the film Kill Bill?
Yeah.
I thought, was that in homage to Bruce Lee?
I believe it was.
Because when I saw that, I thought, oh.
You can verify that, but I believe it was in homage.
Because obviously there's a lot of death. In fact, there's a lot.
A lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot. And it does give that Chinese kind of. I mean, there is a storyline there somewhere, but then again, it also shows within the Chinese realm of their movies, all you're doing is kill. All you're doing is 1 against 500. Still one, and he comes up just a little scratch, just there, just a little scratch. And obviously,
you know the fight in Big Boss, the one in Thailand.
Okay. Yes.
You know that was a real fight.
Okay.
Because the triads, apparently, the studio would have paid protection money
Okay.
and actually sent someone to fight him.
That wouldn't surprise me. Right.
And when they was applauding,
Right.
like, oh, magnificent, real, you know, I think some of those blows are real. Like,
Right.
the director's like, some of those blows are real blows. Like, do you realize man trying to kill me? Trying to kill me. So that was a real fight.
I can definitely believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And knowing and seeing
Mhm.
triads,
Yeah,
Japanese yakuza,
yeah.
That's exactly how they get on.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. That was a real fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Mhm.
And thank you for that. So then, obviously, as saying his father was a famous opera performer, which led to him becoming a child star.
Yeah.
Which is why I said that I think he was a really good actor. In other
Yeah.
words, in looking at him,
Yeah.
he was a handsome young man. Anyway, you know, that's my thinking. And from that, obviously, his 3 to Enter the Dragon.
Mhm.
Enter the Dragon before we. No, which one's first? We got Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Then we
Before
got
Way of the Dragon.
The Way of the Dragon. So I found that was really innovative to have such performers because he had like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the basketball player, and also how they personally wanted to learn from him and how he taught them too. And
Yeah.
just the skill
Yeah.
that was, you know, and bringing that together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was very much impressed. So his collapse obviously occurred, one collapse in 1973,
Yeah.
and they said, you know, obviously there's many things who he was with at the time,
Yeah.
why that might have happened, and as I said, compared to the
Let's
headache.
see if they come close hits now. Let's see if they'll come back out.
So are they coming back on? They're coming back
They're
on.
coming back on soon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so he died at 32 years of age, and I'm really pleased that I saw that movie, which brought me to look at a few elements. I'm not going to talk about those now, but thank you very much, most certainly, because I think Bruce Lee, had he
Yeah.
lived, but then again, such influential people, they bring their message,
Yes.
and then they brought their message.
Yeah.
They brought their message, they've made their influence to the world,
Mm-hmm.
and we received it, and I'm very grateful to
Yes.
have lived at the time and to receive much of our make a whole history of this about myself and Shepherd Bush.
Yeah.
When after they come out watching the movie,
Yeah.
and to learn that the British were the last actually to get rights, not to get rights, to purchase that film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it was all over Europe and all
All over
these
Europe and elsewhere and things
the
like that.
British were the, you know, and obviously it did because it influenced young people, and I suppose in some respect, and to bring it to a political format, once you have people encouraged, they would gather together,
Yeah.
and you don't want unity, and you know.
Yeah, of
But-
course.
But that is what it happened because I know that besides some of my friends and relatives who all suddenly started making these sounds and jumping all over the place, which I want to do as well.
Yeah.
You know, which I mean, was that one I did? I didn't do karate. I did judo,
Okay.
which I still do, and I'm very grateful for it because some of those little moves have
Yeah.
saved me from the point of view. You know,
Okay.
well, I think you've got to be aware, especially when you
To the boy back off.
you know, because they've been necessary when you go to carnival.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
from that point of view,
Yeah.
you've got to protect yourself in whatever way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I think even if it's just a case of awareness for
Yeah.
man or woman, we
Yeah.
need to, and it gives confidence,
Yeah, of course.
especially for those who.
Yeah.
So back to have a look at this. It's always nice to be loved. Going back to that, so a little bit of Shaka Khan there. So the scores is still 1-0.
It's still 1-0. They've come out 48 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes have been played in the second half.
Okay. So we're going to be rounding up now. We're just a little bit over 9, but how's your evening been?
My evening has been great, fantastic.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for doing this, Professor.
Mhm.
So we're going to be back next week,
We will be back next week.
and in 2 weeks' time we do have another sprint. It's going to be Canada. So we're going to lead ourselves up to that as we have done with this. I want to say thank you very much, obviously, to Carol. Don't forget those the dates which concerns the finals. And there's 3 more matches as we were told
Yeah.
from Tunde.
Yeah.
I will say, just remembering that we've got she'll be judging, this is obviously Carol's going to let us know all about this at the end of the next week in concerns to her judging there in Northampton. And it was really nice to hear about her time in Westminster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and the representative. I didn't know there was a mayor of Westminster.
Neither did I.
So there's a mayor of London, there's a mayor of the City of London,
Yeah.
and there's a mayor of Westminster.
Yeah, which I didn't know. I did hear of a mayor of City of London,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you've got borough mayors.
Yes, because
Yeah,
there are mayors
of different boroughs.
Yes.
But I didn't know that there was a mayor of Westminster, like
I suppose the Westminster is its own principality.
City of London.
Because you've got the police, which you've got the city.
Yeah, city police, which is separate from the Met Police.
So anything just to make a little bit of difference and then
Yeah.
to get the information, I suppose.
Yeah.
So with that, and obviously Girls on Track, wow, it's for 10 years and going bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Right, anything else that you want to put on top of that, Mr. Mac?
No, not at all.
Professor Beard?
Not at all. No.
So I think I'll have a little bit of this music and then I might come back with something and we'll finish up in just a minute.
My team's ready. Get that ready, got that. I've got my keys. Yeah. So I can put everything together.
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Okay. So, thank you for tuning in. I'm here every Tuesday from 6 to 8. It's the F1 and All Sports Talk Show. Thank you very much for listening to Professor Johnson and Tunde Talks Football with our very own Mr. McIntosh of His Agenda and of course Carol from Next Racing Generation.